Okay, I see nice and green. Hopefully it stays up like that. Okay. Okay, sorry about that, y'all. Sorry about that. Hopefully everything's all good.
5-minute warp ahead.
Yeah, okay. Sorry about that. For some reason, my Wi-Fi was okay, but my OBS was not, so back to your regularly scheduled programming.
So you missed Lolaway find the bow in the Wolfos Grotto and just getting skulls. Shake got his slingshot on man on the roof. And it looks like Lolaway's gonna go back into do Forest Temple.
Yeah, makes sense.
Otherwise, he
Get skulls.
didn't
He
do the
needs to do
bomb
it.
jump.
Oop, we got Shake his long shot now. He's gonna be all
Yep.
finding all the delicious goodies.
Forest has very convenient skulls. Like, really none of them are out of the way at all. So, gotta do the dungeon anyway. I know it sucks, but
No.
may as
Did
well do it now.
did Shake and Lolaway find different slingshots?
No, they both got it on man on roof.
Oh, okay. Perfect. Oh no, Shake's already missed one of the
Oh,
golden
rip.
keys.
I forget where Shake got his other bow from.
Alrighty, and what else? You said Epona's song was on Minuet.
Yeah,
Right?
Epona's song was on Minuet.
Okay, perfect. Okay, everything's all good.
Isn't the most useful considering they have Longshot and Requiem, but it's still nice to have.
Yeah. Alright, so we got bow game done, just a heart piece.
I always like the hint for this one. They call it shooting immaturity.
Yeah.
First time I read that, I didn't know what it was talking about.
Clearly shooting the sun, right?
Yeah, I was like, what?
Alright, so I really like this play from Lolaway. He's just kind of going around completing dungeons and grabbing skulls. We haven't seen Shake do any of the dungeons really, except for Jabu or Deku.
Yeah, in my opinion, there's really no reason not to do a dungeon as soon as you possibly can in a seat like this.
Because even if the dungeon doesn't have any useful items in it, you're still going to be grabbing skulls, and you know it's all dungeons, so you're going to have to get around to completing it anyway. So
Yeah,
I
the
think
skulls are a really good incentive, even if you wouldn't want to do them right away. Because, as I said, about over 40 of the skulls are in dungeons, so
yeah.
it's just helps a lot when they're on the way, whereas the overworld ones you usually are going a bit out of your way for.
Yeah. Plus, I mean, the overworld ones being out of the way are very spaced out as well. So while you're like in an area, you could only grab like one or two probably. Whereas when you're in a dungeon, you know for sure that there's going to be like 5 or 6 or 4 or 5 all like clustered up next to each other.
Yeah.
Alright, so Shake done.
Jabu literally has 2 skulls right beside each other.
Yeah. Shake gonna grab his light arrows from Dampe. And then he's gonna be quickly doing his void out. I thought he was gonna be too far to the left there to make it back, but he made it back
He's
just
good.
fine. So at
Did
the
he
end,
not buy a shield?
I don't think so.
Oh.
So at the end of the seed, if Shake ends up getting punished by anything, I think it's gonna be Lolaway choosing to do the dungeon super duper early like this. In the end, sure, it only grants them the ability to do one dungeon, but when that one dungeon is kind of necessary, then it is what it is. I mean, it's kind of lucky that they have like a couple easy dungeons to do as their Ocarina of Time dungeons, if you know what I mean. Like, Deku is really easy to get through. Fire Temple can be if they don't get screwed up. And as we saw in the last seed, if there's an item way at the top of Fire Temple, then having to make the climb up can cost you if you put it off too late.
Fire and forest both suffer from the lots of checks really kind of fast really early, and then it really slows down for the rest of it. And with fire, you're going up, whereas forest is more in a circle, so if you don't have FW and magic, going back there is a real pain. So
Yeah. I think ZFG said it when he was talking about speed running, but you know, when it comes to dungeons, it's always great when you have to go down, because you can always just go down really fast, but if you have to go up, you actually have to like climb up, so
well, not anymore. We have F boots.
yeah, not anymore. Alright, so Lolaway knows the quick camera adjustment to do the jump slash to skip. No fancy setup like we saw out of Falcon.
Yeah, he does the good setup where you just stand, see up, get the angle, and jump off. Saves a few seconds.
Alright, and now we have just more blue rupees. Again, not finding any items in these dungeons is fine, but I mean, there's two good things. One, you got skulls, and of course, second, and probably I mean, it was the only one he could have really rushed it this early, but getting the free song from his forest medallion could also really help too. I mean, he doesn't know that it's not Requiem, which is probably the most helpful one, but
Actually, these guys could do Water Temple.
yeah, they could. They have Longshot, they have Iron Boots, they have the Zora Tunic. Water Temple is entirely in logic. And I mean, after you, I forgot what I was going to say, but either way, it is one of their stone dungeons that they'll have to get out of the way. And Water Temple does have a bunch of pretty free skulls in it as well. You do have to go out of your way to go to the top and the far side of the temple, but
Imagine the only one they'd skip is ooh, Big Po.
yeah. Big Po
The
in
only
a
one they'd
bottle
skip
is
is
a nice skip.
the one on the bottom floor in the cracked room where you that one is really slow, but I imagine they would get the rest of them.
Yeah. I don't like the one outside the boss key room either, but I mean, if you have to go all the way down there to check that chest anyway, then it's just easy to grab.
Yeah, I would probably save even if the item is garbage, when you need the skulls. That's a problem with water. There's a lot of save scumming, so
Oh yeah, that's true.
sometimes miss skulls if you don't save, but they can full clear it anyway. There's no reason to really preserve keys, so I would just get everything.
Yeah, exactly. Alright, nothing in the Song of Storms grotto on Death Mountain Trail that Shake just checked out, so we're gonna see, turn our attention and see if anything comes out of Lolaway and Forest.
I have to pay attention to Forest.
Did
I didn't sign up for this.
Did Lolaway get anything in Adult Goron City? He did come here, right? I think that was when
I
my
don't
stream
think
was
so.
dropping frames.
I don't think he did.
Oh my goodness, the bomb tube exploded on the Goron, but then he like rolled away from the explosion.
Goodbye, Larry. You're not the only one that's drunk tonight. At Connor75 in the chat.
Yeah. Alright, let's see what the rolling Goron gives him. Since everyone missed it because my stream was dropping. Just a recovery heart, nothing super valuable.
Always struggling to kill the Poe. Saw him use like 4 or 5 nuts.
Yeah. Trying to do the quick stabs. I see people fail to do that all the time. I just love to just...
You don't really have many frames for that. It's kind of hard.
Yeah. I just do the target and that. Just
Yeah.
get rid of all that stuff. Right. Oh, Shake. Shake not able to blow up that boulder. He's not going to be able to do the other check in this room because he hasn't been to the Dongos yet.
Yeah, that'll suck if he comes back here. Lolaway gets to save time over him, over doing more things in one go. It's a hard balance in Rando. You want to try and get items so you can do a lot of stuff in a similar area together, but you also can't just avoid like everything. So you have to have good intuition on what you should do when you can and what you should save for later.
Yeah. Looks like Shake had to stop and think about what he was going to do for a sec. I really think that he needs to like...
do DC now?
Yeah, go straight to a dungeon because, I mean, he knows that he needs to do AD. So there's nothing bad that can come out of doing a dungeon. At least one. Just one.
Yeah. It's like
Overworld
his
checks.
DC forest, water is open. He can do most of Spirit, not all of it, but most of it. Once he gets that strength 2 in DC, of course.
Yeah. Yeah, once he's done DC and gets that strength, he pretty much has access to everything that Lolaway does.
Is that the only item that's difference between them? I think so.
I know that Shake has another quiver, unless Lolaway got it too, but... Because I know that he got that first bow in Hyrule Field, didn't he? I think. I can't remember where he got his first
no. When the stream was going down, Lolaway found his first bow in Sacred Forest Meadow Grotto.
Oh, I know that, but didn't Shake find his first bow somewhere else?
I think so, yeah.
Yeah. Because then when, yeah, because Shake has found 2 bows. I guess, yeah, he got his second bow when he went to Sacred Forest, so... Oh well. All you need is one. Something to shoot Ganon with. That's it. Sticks don't work. Oh, we're gonna see the same thing we saw last race, blowing up the Bombchu on the outside rock. Ooh, and almost, all the way, almost not making it to the hole.
It always looks like you almost don't make it, but it's actually quite an easy strat to what he did. You just run off the edge, jump slash the wall, the camera turns around, you just roll straight up and you barely make it under the checkerboard.
Shake heading up to the summit of Death Mountain to check what's in the fairy fountain, probably. Meanwhile, Lolaway pushing blocks. It really feels like you're in Forest Temple for an eternity. Yeah, I mean, it's like you said, you get a lot of checks right away, and then all of a sudden there's just nothing. It's just Poe killing and block pushing.
Be nice if the Poes were dead. You could just like run through, but
oh well.
I don't know. I'm a strong advocate, personally, of open forests. I know Lolaway is too. It's an idea that would speed it up, but I don't know.
But then you get that blue Poe chest in Logic.
Yeah. Yeah. I know. I don't know why they made it linear yet. It goes around in a circle. Not like Shadow Temple where it's
just a big straight line.
Yeah.
Well, it kind of curves around.
Like, I always thought Forest was confusing casually. Like, I would go into the wrong room and get lost in the open areas, and after doing Randomizer, I'm like, wow, how was I this stupid?
Shake doesn't know that you can just stab the skull. The sword bounced off twice with jump slashes, but
Yeah, you can just do a spin attack or crouch stab it.
I don't think you can spin
Or
attack
use a
if you don't have
bomb,
magic.
like, not... He has bombs on his C right. I'm not sure why he didn't try that.
Oh well. Alright, is he
Probably,
gonna be going to DC?
he should. Yeah, he
Looks
is.
like it, yeah. Oh. Oh, yeah, he is. He's just grabbing some hearts. I was wondering why he wanted that rock. Alrighty, so in DC, he's going to find his strength 2. And then we'll see what happens. I think you're right. It would be really good if Lolaway went to Water Temple after he was done with Forest. Because, I mean, at least you can find an item there. And if not, more skulls. Something to do to prevent the running around.
Yeah, plus he has long shot, so he can get the skull on the tree at nighttime too, so that's an extra skull.
Yeah. In the end, when you have all dungeons and skulls, I mean, it doesn't really matter if a dungeon is barren. Like, I guess it depends which one, because I mean, first off, you're going to be hunting skulls, so they're kind of more meaningful to go through the dungeon. Like, if Fire Temple wasn't the item that they needed the 50 skulls to complete, even a barren Fire Temple, I might even consider going up it just to first off, you need to find the boss key, of course. But then there's also a lot of really easy skulls at the top of Fire Temple.
Yeah, like going to Pierre is 2 skulls right there. When you need them, to me that's 3 checks, so it's really not that slow.
But of course, if you get Barren Fire Temple and you find the boss key right on the bottom floor, I would definitely think twice, I think.
I would definitely route in Overworld skulls in that situation.
Yeah.
They have suns, they have long shot. In my opinion, no reason not to.
Yeah. There reaches that point where you gotta think, nah, it's too big of a waste of time. Like, if you're halfway up, sure, why not? But if you're not, then nah. Alright, after this room, I think it's time for a skull update for Shake. Hopefully he... Ooh, I don't think he remembered that other skull on the wall.
I don't know if he knows you can get that with long shot. You are supposed to like leave the room and come back and the staircase is up and climb up, but with long shot you can actually get it from the stairs. I guess he just doesn't know about that.
Yep. So
It's a fast DC skull if you have it. Unlike the other DC skulls that are kind of out of the way.
yeah. So skull update. So far Shake only has 13 skulls. And I haven't been keeping track of Lolaway's skulls since he was at
I think he's
Forest
at
Temple,
like
so he's got to be at least 25.
Yeah, I was gonna say about 25.
25 or 26. Like, he's almost doubling the skulls. It's kind of like
He's getting wrecked by Phantom Ganon.
It's kind of like what we saw in Stiv versus
go.
Dozium. Just like the skull routing is just so much better, and it's really gonna pay off for him in the long run. Alright, Phantom Ganon has another heart container. Lolaway suddenly up to 8 hearts when previously he had almost none. And there's another dungeon done for him.
There's Shake's strength too.
Yep.
So now they are caught up on items, I believe.
Yep. Caught up on items, but Lolaway's...
Their songs are a bit different though.
Yeah. Lolaway's entire... Oh, what's going on with Lolaway? Oh, it just took him forever to load up his game.
He never got... He hasn't been to Lon Lon or Forest Meadow as child, has he?
No, he hasn't. He hasn't even been to Zelda yet.
Wait, what?
Yeah, Lolaway doesn't even have his egg. Like he
Oh,
never went.
wow.
He never went to Hyrule
Well, he
Castle at all.
really rushed early adult.
Yeah, he did. Hello, Znernicus. Thank you for the raid. Yeah, but yeah, like he immediately went. Like he went into Hyrule Castle to grab the skull, and then I think he grabbed the egg. Like I'm not sure if he did, but I'm pretty sure he didn't grab the egg. So we're still
Wait,
kind of
wait,
waiting for him to
okay.
go back to
Hold
Child
on.
and do that.
Can you wait? He could just get the egg and then play Sun Song and it instantly hatches, right?
Yeah, the moment
Wow.
day breaks.
I've never seen that before. Just thought of that.
Yeah, I mean it would be a good strat, but I mean Sun Song was on Zelda, so can't really do that.
Alright, there's the other bow
Yep.
that Shake got earlier.
Oh, okay. Yeah. I knew it was the one in Hyrule Field. That's what I figured. He just didn't have it marked on his tractor that he got a bow there.
Now Lolaway's gonna go get his magic from the Tektite Grotto.
Yeah. I don't think he knows that magic is there either, because he
No,
hasn't
I
been
don't
over
think he's
here.
been over here. It was only Shake that
Yeah. Shake knows,
got
and he has
this.
it filled in on his tractor, just so he remembers to go back. So, yep, he's gonna want that magic. Don't. Just notice, like, Lolaway didn't. I mean, he can go back to Temple of Time anytime to go grab his song from Temple of Time, but he still hasn't. So, oh, where's he going now? Oh, he's playing Epona's song. So this is probably him going to Lake Hylia,
I
I would
wonder if he might
imagine,
go to
or he could
Gerudo
be going to
instead.
Gerudo, going to grab his skulls in Gerudo Valley.
Yeah, cause there's two in Valley close together. There's the two in Fortress.
Yeah.
He might just go do GTG and all that stuff right now. I'm not sure.
Yeah.
Oh, in an all nope,
No,
he's
he's
not.
going to Water
Okay,
Temple.
he's
Yeah.
going to Lake.
Thing
Yeah,
is that
hammers on 50 skulls in Ernicus.
Shake knows that Water Temple is barren, but Lolaway doesn't. So, because he never got that hint.
Oh, true.
So he's probably going to be full clearing water, I imagine.
Was
But
that hint around the lake?
I don't remember where Shake found it, but he has it on his tracker. Fire is not a
All
medallion,
dungeons seeded.
but yeah, fire isn't a medallion, but they do need the shadow medallion, and since they need the shadow medallion, they need Nocturne, so they need all 3 spiritual stones to get it. I should really put my notepad on the stream just so people can see what the hints are.
Yeah.
I think that would be really helpful.
Yeah, Shadow forces all dungeons if Ocarina is one of those two songs. It's 100% guaranteed every time. Whereas Spirit, maybe. Water, probably. But not necessarily. You can beat those dungeons without ZL. Water, you only have, is it 3 or 4 checks in logic that you can do in water? Something like that. But you can break logic, get extra keys, and go beat water, potentially. I've definitely had seeds where you have to beat water to get ZL.
Yeah.
Does happen.
Let's get a, a hint capture up. We'll see how this works. If it looks ugly, I might take it off, but there we go. Okay, so here's our hints that we have so far. I think this would be a good spot for it right here in the middle. So WOTH, Way of the Hero. We got Baron. We're still missing a Way of the Hero location, but these are all the hints that we've got so far. So if anyone needs reminding,
Who needs to change the layout? Just throw the notepad
yeah, that's
on the
exactly what
layout.
I
There
did.
you go.
It does cover up Banjo, but everyone else is covered up. The only things you really need to see are Mumbo anyway.
Oh, but you got the RAR guy in the corner.
Mumbo
He's
the
the
raw
real
guy.
highlight.
Nobody can see 2D anyway. That was my masterpiece when I was making it.
My favorite is yeah, it's definitely Chic
Yeah.
as duty. So good.
Alright, so Lolaway is doing Water Temple as expected. He's probably going to full clear it since he doesn't know that it's not Baron, but I don't really think he cares at this point. It's just free medallions. And it looks like he's doing the long shot to the bottom,
Oh baby.
which is faster than if you have the Iron Boots, I think.
Yeah.
I mean, you go down right away, but you do have to wait. Oh no, and Shake is pulling the statue.
Oh my god. He
S
doesn't know the setup.
Shake is pulling the statue. We have a statue pull. Heave ho, heave ho.
Not everyone knows all of the Ultratism Sculptula strats. I really like them, but you
Yeah.
know, when you end up almost never getting those skulls, most people don't learn them.
Yeah, you can just stand next to the wall if you have the long shot.
Yeah, the walls are like curving. There's just this corner you go in and you can get it with long shot.
Yeah, we saw Lolaway this seed get this skull with the long shot.
That's the best way to learn skulls, Electric Fortune. It's some Lake Lab wall without boomerang, wasteland without hookshot, you know, all the cool stuff.
Ooh, just realized, yeah, Shake still doesn't have a shield, so bomb dropping the, or shield dropping these chews isn't really a thing. So if you drop a bomb chew, it automatically puts you in C up. So he's gonna have to leave the C up before he can chuck his Deku Nuts.
DC puts him, when he beats this dungeon, right beside Cac at daytime, and the shop is literally right there, and he has rupees, so he should buy a shield then if he's thinking about it.
Yeah, whether or not he does, we'll see. Alright, Shake is going back up now that he's done his skull hunt. Oh, he's probably going back up to go grab that skull in that other room. Yeah.
Oh yeah, true.
Yeah, he's going back for it. So he remembered the skull, he just doesn't know that you can reach it with the long shot from the bridge. Which I don't blame him, it is a pretty close shot, but... Alright, looks like Lolaway is doing his nice setup here. Doesn't quite make it.
It's close.
Even though he didn't make it, the setup still looked beautiful.
Yeah. It's your classic OOT setup.
Jump, side roll, jump, side roll.
Unlike Banjo, OOT is a lot of straight edges and lines. There's not a lot of curving, so you can use setups like this.
Yeah. Runner guy is doing his he's doing a blind 100% run of Ocarina of Time again, so all the nice even lines allow you to do the setups to even get all the items in the game with a pillowcase over your head. Alright, so Shake is save warping.
Okay, so Lolaway is not gonna take that skull. Just gonna lose it on the reset because his water boss key chest was nothing.
Yeah. I think I still would have just saved warp out of the bottom of there, even for
Yeah, I
nothing.
would have too.
Because, I mean, it is like 2 keys that you're losing, but at the same time, like, it is, I mean, I guess it is only one skull. You can say goodbye to it. It does take a lot of keys to get around the temple, so.
Water is a key nightmare.
Yeah, it sure is. Water Temple got me as a kid. Took me forever to figure out how to beat the dungeon.
I still don't know how you're supposed to do it.
I mean, it's pretty much vanilla. Just there's a door on floor 2 which takes back to floor 1. Thing
Oh,
is that when I was a kid, oh, he did buy a shield. Look at that.
there you go.
Yeah. When I was a kid, I didn't notice the Song of Time block behind the long shot, so I didn't know River Chest was a thing. And that chest has a key in it. Yeah. And if you don't get that key, then you can possibly not make it down to the boss key chest. And I didn't.
Yeah.
So that's what stuck. That's what got me stuck.
I can't even remember when I first played the game. I just, I didn't know when the water was supposed to be where to do what, and it's just going in circles.
Alright. Where's Shake going now? Oh, he's going to get the skull in CAC on the roof.
One adult skull in CAC.
Yep. CAC has officially been cleared out. Now Lolaway is going to be doing the under the pillar chest. Still on the hunt for the boss key. And while he was standing... Oh, there it is. Oh yeah, you have to do it from this side. I thought you had to do it from the other side. Lolaway is now up to 28 skulls. He's over halfway there. He only needs another 22 to go. Shake now has his opponent's song, and he's going straight into Forest Temple. So it looks like we're seeing a mirrored reaction. Dawn goes first into Forest Temple, and then we'll see if Shake does the same thing that Lolaway did, grabbing his magic and then going straight into Water Temple.
Yeah. I'm just not sure why Shake didn't do Forest Temple earlier when he was here. Not sure.
Yeah, Fusion Dude, I put it on stream because a lot of people came in and were asking, so... We're still waiting on our last sometimes hint down here, and we still don't know the last way of the hero as well.
Wait, we haven't seen like anything in the Zora's River domain fountain hints, so it's probably there.
Yeah. I mean, it makes sense. I know a lot of people don't like going to Zora's Domain early, especially if they don't have like a scale. It's super easy to get there from Lake Hylia, but I mean, if Zora's River is barren, then going all the way up Zora's River just to get into Zora's Domain is kind of a long way to go.
To do 2 checks that kind of take a while, it's like
Yeah, 2 checks that take
very,
a while. You don't have the letter, you can't go anywhere past there.
yeah.
But it could pay off. You could see a Zora's Domain Ruto's letter.
I actually don't think I've seen that, ever.
Yeah, it would be really funny. Little hints like that. Ruto's letter hidden behind the waterfall. Alright,
Well, I'm
Lolaway.
actually interested to see what Lolaway's skull routing is gonna be after water, because after water there's no more dungeons that he can full clear. I don't think he will dip spirit, but he might. So I'm wondering what he's gonna do. Probably. I mean, I hope he goes back and gets his child song soon, but
Yeah, I was about to say he doesn't even have Requiem yet, so...
yeah.
I mean, it would be... I mean, he could go into Gerudo Valley and pick up skulls there, but I mean, Gerudo Valley, Gerudo Fortress skulls, but I mean, he has a Pona song, so he could possibly be thinking there's something on archery. Maybe, if he's over there, because there is the skull on the back of the target. So, it is some place to go for, how many skulls is that? 2, 3, 4 skulls? But I mean, it is only 4 skulls. And while he's there, he would have access to check GTG as well.
Here's the bad thing about that. GTG has no skulls in it.
Yeah.
And you're already doing all the dungeons. The last thing you want to do is to go into a mini dungeon that has no skulls.
Yeah.
At least the bottom of the well and ice cavern, they still have skulls. Bottom of the well is way less keys and you're getting more checks faster and less requirements. And ice cavern gets you a song, so yeah, there's the full 4 skulls there, but I think it'd just be better to avoid them and do
I
other
think
skulls.
that bottom of the well wouldn't be a bad play for Lolaway after this, because he knows that he doesn't have any of the child songs. So, getting the 3 songs from Zelda and the letter... Oh, Lolaway got knocked
But
off.
then again, at the same time,
then
they
go
don't
into
have the
well.
boomerang, so maybe it is a better idea to do that and go to Fortress, stay adult, because without boomerang, you can only get
Uh-oh.
1 of the 3 skulls in well.
Stream's going crazy again.
Uh-oh.
Oh, I see green again. Oh, I see red again. Oh, I see yellow. Okay, I see green. Okay, okay. I think we're good. Oh no, I see red again. So sorry, what were you saying, Falcon?
Oh, I'm just talking about they don't have boomerang, so
Oh, that's true.
I know you said well it might be a good idea, but
Yeah.
you're not supposed to be able to get any of those skulls. I don't know if there's ways to get the ones behind the locked doors, but I know you can use the like to damage yourself into that skull, which is a cool strat that people might not think about, but
Yeah.
I like doing it. I don't know, there's still a lot of places they haven't gone to they could get them in, so I'm not too worried about it.
Yeah. Uh-oh, what's going on with Lolaway? Oh, there it is.
Oh.
Just took his game a little bit to get back on track. I've said that every time Lolaway's reset. Whatever he has on his EverDrive seems to be lagging a little bit.
Yeah, I'm not sure what's going on there. Alright, looks like Lolaway is gonna go back child finally.
Yeah, Lolaway
now we're
finally
35.
Finally turned in his prelude check, and he got Serenade from it. So that's a fast Lake Hylia if he needs to go back. Which he didn't finish Water Temple.
Oh, you're right.
Yeah, that's weird that he did Water Temple and then didn't finish it.
I'm not sure what's up with that, but he's lucky that he got Serenade and it's not on like Ice Cavern or something.
Yeah, stuff keeps happening on the stream when I start dropping frames, so.
Sub alert.
Yeah, Shake has alerts on his stream.
Where is Asmi says turn off alerts. Alright, Lolaway got his egg from Malin an hour and 35 minutes into the seed.
Yeah, it is a very long time for
It
is a very long time.
What is he doing?
Oh, he
has
for
Sun
night.
Song.
No, he doesn't.
Oh, he doesn't, you're right.
Yeah, Sun
Yeah, because
Song.
Sun Song was on
Zelda. Yeah.
Zelda, yeah. Oh my god.
Yeah,
This is
so
so
now
scuffed.
Shake did all this waiting earlier in the seed while we were watching Lolaway do cack as child and collecting skulls, and now it's his turn to wait. So it looks like all the time that Shake wasted doing this is about the same. Except instead of waiting by the castle, he's choosing to just wait here.
Yeah, Sunder, Lolaway got hook shot and just decided to rush adult and get skulls and do dungeons, which I actually think was probably in the long run a good idea, but now he's in this situation for now, so
Yeah.
it's a few minutes lost.
Yeah, I'm not really sure if there was anything better that he could have done, because I mean, like this is really difficult to avoid, like when you come in here so late and you have to suddenly just sit around doing nothing. No,
Not
Sinernicus,
really.
not really, because he has no way back here. I mean, he can get to Castletown, but I mean, if he runs into the field, then there's nothing to do out there except just wait, so...
That's true. He could have done that. I don't know why he wouldn't use his free turn it to night card here, but I guess he wasn't thinking of that, and when save resetting didn't want to go all the way out there then all the way back, but that definitely should have been faster than this, so
Yeah. Does
probably
does
could have
going
done
outside
that.
Ganon's castle as adult turn at night immediately
Yeah.
as child? Yeah?
Well, no, you would go out as adult, and then it stays night even if you change
Yeah,
back
that's
to
what I meant.
child.
That's what I
Yeah,
meant.
yeah, yeah. A lot of people do that, and then they'll play Nocturne and go get Dampe.
Hmm. That's
They don't have
interesting. I
Sun
didn't know
Song.
that.
Yeah, you can do that.
Alright, he's going to get his piece of heart from Richard. So since he had to wait around for daytime for his chicken to hatch, this is probably just kind of going to even them out a little bit. While he's doing all this, it's going to give Shake that time he needs to finish his forest temple. And then who knows if he's going to go to water too.
Holloway brought one of the brown dogs inside Bombchu Bowling.
You know?
Nice. Yeah, go blow up the dog. There you go.
Oh, the bomb cheese blow up on the dog.
Yeah.
Poor doggy. Alright, so it doesn't feel like getting the extra Poe bottle. Oh, he still has that big Poe bottle that he got from a forest temple that I didn't see him turn in.
I never knew playing this casually that you can eat the regular pose.
Yeah. I think it's random whether or not they heal health or take health away.
Yeah, it is. I don't know how that works because they're a ghost, but
Well,
it's just
I
a
think
video
I
game.
think the thing is, are they a good ghost or are they an evil spirit kind of thing?
I guess.
Alright, Lolaway coming in to check his Din's fire, see if there's anything here.
Learn from Stib's mistake.
Yeah. Suddenly get a Din's fire out of nowhere.
Yeah, they aren't really gonna be able to skip any items like we skipped Din's last seed because of all the dungeons you have to do.
Yeah.
But because they're going to all the dungeons anyway, you're already doing more checks, so it shouldn't be that bad.
More checks, more items needed to do those checks. So, I mean, 50 skulls all dungeons, we're probably going to be seeing full inventories and probably full heart meters for both of them if they decide to pick up every heart that they see. Or if they're...
Yeah, I expect them to get to like 15, to be honest. The highest I've ever gotten is 17. That's my record.
I've had 20 heart seeds myself.
Really?
Yeah.
I've never gotten that high or seen people get that high.
I think I saw iCup recently. He was doing one of the weeklies, and I think he had 19 hearts at the end.
Well, that's what happens when there's no Baron hints.
Yep.
You get everything, and then Get all the heart containers too.
I don't even remember if it was season 4, but
Probably
either way,
was.
it's
Because
a lot of hearts.
not only is there no barons, so you have to go. You'll get more hearts from there, but Ganon's castle is also accessible, and Ganon likes to hide heart containers inside his castle.
Yeah.
Bottles, Roar's Wind. Seen
Alright,
that too many times.
so Lolaway is finally getting his sun song. And on the way, he got his Water Temple Baron hint, so even though he's already completed like 90% of Water Temple, he's still, he knows he's not finding anything in the last couple checks.
I imagine he's probably pretty upset getting suns this late when he could have had it way earlier, as well as finding water foolish at the exact same time.
Yeah, exactly. Then again, I mean, there wasn't a lot of times where he had to wait for a day-night transition, because you do that a lot as child, but I feel like as adult, it's not that big of a deal. Unless you're waiting for, like, you know, whatever skull here or there. But I feel like with the way he's been routing, he hasn't had to wait for any sort of day-night shenanigans, other than, you know, his chicken
Oh
to
my god.
hatch.
Shake just jumped off the edge into the whatever that stuff is.
Yeah, I'll have to climb the ladder of shame. Oh, oh yeah, there's the ladder.
Yeah, it's on that platform.
Yeah. Keep forgetting it's on the far way. Right, hopefully Shake won't fall off this time. Gets the eye switch, and we're gonna see opponent's song check coming. I think this is probably, unless he does this again, like this is probably the latest we're gonna see this again. But then again, like you said earlier, getting the bomb choose right at the start probably really messed up both of their routes.
Yeah. It's not a normal seed at all.
I personally like to do Lost Woods really early if I get a lot of bombs in Kokiri, just because you have access to all those grottos. But there's not a lot of hints in Lost Woods, so I wouldn't say it's that great of a play.
Well, you have 2 hints, and then there's 3 right after in Sacred Forest Meadow, so it's still a good area to do. Okay, so Lolaway's gonna get his 2 skulls he can get in Lon Lon at nighttime using that sun song, but unfortunately cannot get the other 2 because we do not know where the boomerang is.
Yeah. So we'll see what he does after this. I imagine after he gets the skull, he'll probably minuet and then go grab his last song, like once he checks his container.
Child is just so limited with skulls without boomerang and bottle. Like, you really don't have a lot open to you at all.
Yeah. And like I said, before he went child, I really think he should have, oh no. Shake is out of nuts, so he has to fight the Poe the long
Oh
way.
no.
I think there's nuts in the jars in this room. Or maybe it's just magic and arrows.
I know the one by the door is an arrow and a heart.
Yeah. Okay, there we go. We got Requiem now. All we have left is Song of Storms to grab from Requiem. Oh, this is such a long Poe fight without the sword. Those jump slashes really speed things up.
I mean, he can still jump slash. I don't know why he's using the bow.
Yeah, I'm not sure either. Probably because it's just to be safer.
Yeah.
So when Shake came here earlier, I don't think we saw him get the fairy fountain over here, did we? I don't remember. I don't.
No, I don't think so. Cause I don't think did he even have ZL?
No, he probably didn't because, well, no, he didn't because he came here immediately when he was child, so he hadn't been adult yet.
Just a heart piece though.
Yeah. And it looks like Lolaway is gonna go check out Child Spirit, which is pretty good. I mean, there's not a whole lot of skulls to get. There's one in Child Spirit that he can grab, and he does have to go in there anyway later. So
No, he can get 2.
I was
Just
thinking just the basement of Child Spirit.
oh,
Yeah,
oh.
just the basement. He can keep going,
Yeah.
but I mean, if he finds a
He
key
could,
here, he can just go
yeah.
straight into Spirit Temple. Oh, unless he's just coming in to get the
He
song.
wants the song.
I think checking out Child Spirit would actually not be that bad of an idea, though. Because if he gets a key, then he can at least clear out the basement, and then immediately just come back as adult and do what he can until he has the mirror shield.
Mm-hmm.
Again, looks like nothing. Lolaway
The
thinks it
spirit, the
looks like
spirit
nothing.
skulls are really
Oh,
really
he's out of
fast
here
and
though.
convenient. So I would do the play that you were talking about.
So
It's a nice gossip stone.
he might be going to Zora's. I don't think he'd be going to Zora's Domain. He can't go to Zora's Domain from here anyway because he doesn't have a scale.
He's close to getting one though. How many skulls is he at?
I think he's at 30. Yeah, he's at 30. Or I think he's at 31 after the one he got in Lon Lon Ranch. So he
Doesn't
could
seem to be where he was
grab the
going though,
scale.
because if he wanted that, then he would play Serenade, take the owl, be
Yeah, just
faster.
run up. Oh, he's coming here to get bugs.
Oh, yeah, yeah. Yep,
Oh,
bug
it's
bottles, really good. There's two patches in Lost Woods to get. There's the 3rd patch in Kokiri, Kokiri Forest, and there's also a skull behind one of the houses. So there's 4 quick skulls right there.
Yep.
Dope boomerang.
I don't think he got any of the skulls that were in Kokiri, so. Or the one behind the house, I mean, because I guess he never really went back there before. And now that he has Song of Storms, he can go open up that grotto that's there as well. I think we saw Shake open all the
Yeah,
Song of
Shake
Storm
went in there.
grottos.
I think he said 32. Is that
Yep,
what it said?
32, yeah. It's hard to say, Gogo. I think Lolaway is in the lead a little bit just because his skull lead is so grand. He's also
He
got
also
more
is.
completion done in his dungeons as well.
And he has an extra song that Shake is gonna get after he beats Forest and goes back to Temple of Time.
Alright, so Lolaway knows for sure that he can grab his scale. He had it on his tracker already. But it is such a long way out of the way. And now he's probably just going to be taking the world tour, going and grabbing as many bugs as he can. Oh, he probably saw the Skull Kid and thought, wait, I can do the slingshot again. I think he's been over here. Somewhere else. Yeah, he hasn't done his Ocarina game either.
And he didn't get the side hop onto the stone. I always like getting that, it feels really good. Just mash the D-pad and play right away.
Yeah, I do like that side hop to instantly get on the stone. Ooh, Shake taking a ball right to the face. There he goes, he's done with his Phantom Cannon. So we got Forest Temple done by Shake now. He's still trailing a dungeon. Lolaway is still a water temple ahead. Lolaway now has his Kokiri sword, so killing skulls is just that much easier. Not that having 21 sticks is much to laugh at.
21 sticks and 27 bullets.
No. And who
Slingshot
knows how many
ammo.
bomb chews.
Yeah.
Alright, so after Skull Kid, he's probably for sure going to grab the bug patch.
Oh yeah, it's literally right there.
Yeah. No, just a heart piece.
I wonder if he's gonna play Bolero and go quickly get that skull that's right there in the dirt patch.
No.
That's a free skull. I
Yeah,
always
let's see.
forget
What
about
dirt
that
patches
one.
has he got? He's got the one deep in Lost Woods, this other one in Lost Woods. He's got Kokiri Forest, pretty free to him. And then, I guess it's just Lake Hylia, Dodongo, Graveyard. Just kind of going around to every place he can think of. Just some bounds. Now he's pulling out his Ocarina. Which one's he going to next? Looks like he's going to grab the one in
Yep, I was right.
Death Mountain Crater.
Smart move.
And then after this, I guess he can just play Serenade, get the one in Lake Hylia, play Requiem, get the one in... get the one in
I would like to see if he gets
Crater. I mean,
all the ones in Lake Hylia.
Colossus.
So you can get the one on the lab without boomerang if you do a jump slash with the stick.
Yep, and if you do it well enough with the stick, you can land back on the bridge.
Yep.
Looks like he's doing a save warp though. Oh, it's probably because he's he wants
Yeah,
to grab the one
to
in
go back,
Kokiri.
that's really smart. Because he entered Lost Woods from Forest Meadows, so if he played Suns, I believe you would go back to there because that's where you entered Lost Woods from. So he decided to just go get that skull since he was going there anyway. And instead of playing another song, just save warp back into Kokiri. That makes,
Yeah,
that's
but
really smart. I like that.
if he would have played Sun Song, he could have just got lost, and then he'd be directly at the entrance to Lost Woods.
Yeah.
So, oh, we got the big Poe turn-in going on. Oh, it's just some arrows though. All right. Turns out the big Poe is nothing. However, it does give Shake an empty bottle, so he can go do his bugs now as well.
Yeah,
If he
Big
thinks of
Poe
that.
is the only item you cannot get rid of because it's directly associated with the check. Cannot eat the big Poes, you can only eat the small ones.
No. Is that the only bottle thing? Yeah, I guess everything else you can dump out.
Yep.
Milk, bugs, blue fire, potions.
Now he's getting the... They're trying to get the skull behind Mido's house.
Yeah. Looks like Shake remembered that he has magic in the grotto in
Yeah.
West Hyrule Field, so he's gonna come and grab his.
Can't really use it right now. They don't have dins or fire arrows, but...
Yeah. But when
Still
they
good
do,
to have
he'll
because
be
it makes
ready.
your sword better.
Yeah. This spin slash without magic is just so sad.
It's like Roy's dash attack in Melee. It's just like, wow. Why they even program this in the game?
It's like Roy in Melee. When they even
True.
program it into the game.
All of his moves. And then you get this, and then you get the upgrade, and it's like, oh shit. Now I'm Marth. Let's go.
Yeah. The fire sword though. It's hard to see
Yeah.
it go. Alright, we got Child Goron City happening from Lolaway. I think we saw Shake do all this stuff earlier.
Did he do it as
Actually, I don't
child? I think
remember
he
if he
was
came in
only
as
here as
child.
adult. I don't remember the pot at all.
Yeah, I don't think he did pot. No, you're right. It was only adult. Again, when the runners split up, and I mean, like I said, Shake stayed adult for or child for so long. Alright, well, Darunia freezes Link for his insolence. It looked like Lolaway was going to do flame storage or start backwalking or something, and then he messed it up, so he was like, ah, whatever. I'll just run out.
I feel bad for Shake. He went all the way down to Lake Hylia when his serenade is waiting for him in Temple of Time.
Yeah, I know. But, I mean, Lolaway did exactly the same thing.
Mm-hmm.
So it looks like he's going to be setting up his Scarecrow song, and then he's probably going to go start collecting his I don't know why I said collecting. Doing his water temple. He might actually do adult fishing too while he's here. Oh yeah, he is. Yep, with the Scarecrow song in hand. I don't think we saw Lolaway do adult fishing. He just went straight to water temple.
Yeah, I don't. Yeah, he didn't do this or top of Lake Lab. I don't think. I saw him go in the Lake Lab because there's a skull and a check there, but I don't think he went on top.
Yeah. I guess that makes sense, yeah, because I never saw him set up his Scarecrow song, so no Scarecrow song, no Scarecrow checks.
Oh, you also didn't mark off magic for
Oh,
Shake.
that's right. I didn't. Oh, I was about to say I didn't mark it off for Lolaway either, but it's just a little pale. Oh, that fish went for that. Oh, he escaped. Ooh, that's not great. He's gonna have to leave and come back. He's not gonna find that fish again, I'm sure. Or he's going for the backup fish.
Going for the other side.
Yeah, he's going for the backup fish.
Lolaway is having a lot of issues stopping the
Ooh,
pod at
he
the right
got the wrong
time.
fish. Yeah, the
I would
small
just stop
fish.
reeling.
Yeah, the small fish got attracted on. Yeah, he's probably gonna have to just leave and come back and reset his fish RNG. Well, his fish placement.
I Man, Lolaway's timing for this is so off. You want to have the smiley face be facing where it faces at the end of the cutscene, which is like at the entrance to Goron City. So you want to like get the bomb in there. That was better,
Yeah,
but
that
maybe a
looks like
little
it'll
bit
probably
later.
work.
Yeah.
Just barely. Oh, no, it didn't.
Oh,
It wasn't
it's
quite
just not
turned
enough.
around enough. It was so close. But he's happy to get that bomb refill, so. Alright, let's see if Shake can reel in the fish this time. He's got the right one this time, so. Alright, this should work. This should work. Beautiful fish catch. Oh, and we have Din's Fire in the Goron
Oh.
pot. That's happy, or a good item to see. Ooh, and we got Mirror Shield
Oh
from
my
Adult
god.
Fishing. Oh, man.
Wow.
Double items right
2 items
off,
back to back.
back to back. Yeah, so I guess.
Need both of
Oh,
those.
can you say that again, Falcon? You were roboting.
Oh, I was just saying, they're gonna need both those anyway, because of an all
Yeah.
dungeon seed. And I think if I were Shake, knowing that, would go check the lake lab, go do water right now. He already knows it's barren. Go back to Temple of Time and just clear out Spirit, like, right now.
Yeah.
There's no reason not to. Spirit skulls are very quick.
Yep.
Plus, you have the ones in Desert Colossus.
Yep, this is true. An update, we now have 24 skulls coming out of Shake, so he's almost halfway to his Megaton Hammer. But again, I mean, I don't really think so much that Lolaway's skull lead matters so much. I mean, sure it would, I guess, if he didn't have to do so much backtracking, he being Shake, but like,
Is
I
he
mean,
playing Requiem?
yeah, with
Oh,
that
no, he's doing
with
this
that
first.
spirit access, he's got like, yeah, I think he's really good to go for the next little while. All the skulls in water plus all the skulls in spirit is like 10 free skulls right there.
Yeah, and then right after that, you can just go do Reverse Wasteland. Get the... Oh, he doesn't have Dins, that's right.
Yeah.
It's Lolway that has Dins. But if you did, then you could do that. Get the skull and the check in there, and then you're now at Fortress. And you can now check your opponent checks and all of those 4 skulls that were right there, and that would work out really well and bump his number up.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think he's gonna go do water after getting the skull on this tree.
Has anyone
This is
had
one
the
of the only.
5% fish breakaway? I mean, Shake had the fish break away immediately, but I don't think that's RNG. Alright, it looks like...
Lolaway has his scale
Yep, Lolaway
now.
goes to grab his scale.
Yeah,
And,
there you go.
yep, and he's going to the graveyard to go grab his bean. Or his fish. I mean, his
What?
gold skull from the dirt patch. From the bean patch.
You Shake, you can't aim at the branch. You have to aim up
Yeah,
at
there you go. He might actually
right
fall
there.
there, but... Oh, no, he actually made it.
Nope, that's good.
Yeah, climb up the branch. There you go. Okay, now shoot the skull. Okay, there we go. He's up to 25. He is halfway there. All the way going in to do... Now that he has Din's Fire, he's going to go light the torches in the Royal Tomb. What's he going to be getting from here? This is one of those checks that's always kind of terrible to come back for. Like, you come here, then you get an item, then you go back. Oh, it's just another bigger bomb bag. So, he's got a lot of bombs now. So that's nice. Meanwhile, we got Shake doing his water temple play.
It's the right thing to do. He's starting to go rush the dungeons now.
Yeah,
A little bit later than Lolaway, but at least he knows it's Baron.
He knows to just rush the boss key.
Yeah, go beat Morpha right away. Maybe pass up the water skulls if they're not convenient.
Not sure why he's coming down here.
Yeah, I don't know where he's going.
Can't really do anything there yet. I think he thought he was somewhere else. Oh yeah.
Lolaway
I think he was coming in here.
Routing in these bug bottle skulls really good. I think after this he might go up DMT and get that bug bottle sculptula. We'll see. Oh, it's not too far away.
Now the real question here is, when is Shake or Lolaway gonna be going back to like Hylia to get that mirror shield? Because if there's an item in Spirit Temple that's like behind, you know, the mirror shield, which is only like a couple checks, like you said earlier, like locked on top. You know, you got Twin Rova, you got the top. If there's something there, then he could be in trouble a little bit. But it looks like he's gonna go check the bottom of the well right now. With no boomerang, he's not gonna be able to get a bunch of the skulls that are in there, but at least it's somewhere else he can get items from.
Yeah, it does suck going into mini dungeons on a seed like this, but you could have had storms really early, and it's a pretty quick mini dungeon, high check density, only 3 keys, and I do want to see if he goes for the like Skulltula.
Yeah. At least getting one skull would be real nice.
Yeah. I don't know if there are ways to get the other ones without Rang. There might be, but
I don't think so. Not without
I don't think
breaking the tournament rules. There's always a way to get stuff in Zelda games without the items.
Yeah, I obviously mean
yeah.
not doing glitches.
I don't think there's any way to get the other two without Boomerang. I mean, it would be really funny if you found like Boomerang in the well. That would just be like perfect.
That's the one thing that they don't have that's hindering their skullability, but they seem to be doing pretty well.
I mean, another
accessibility.
Thing is Fruito's letter.
That's true.
If they had the letter, all of a sudden, all the skulls inside Ice Cavern would be a thing. But I mean, there's not a whole lot.
The other thing is, I don't think Ice Cavern is worth it at this point. It's kind of slow, and
I mean, I know like
the songs they're gonna get from there is just not the most useful. It's either Prelude or Song of Time, and Song of Time
could be required for Water Temple.
Yeah, I was about to say, has Lolaway found the boss key in Water?
I didn't see if he got it, but because he just kind of left, remember? But he didn't do his Dark Link check And so maybe he didn't want to go all the way down there without having the Song of Time.
Yeah, that's
Oh, well,
probably
there's
why.
Ruto's letter right
Ooh.
there. So Lolaway has access into Zora's fountain now. So if you wanted to do Ice Cavern, there it is. There it is. So I think the songs are the songs set. Oh, double magic.
What do you mean are the
Oh,
songs
hang on a
set?
sec, because I'm just trying to think what could be on Burning Cat.
The only
I think it could be
songs
anything.
left is Prelude and Song of Time.
Yeah, that's true. It could be either
Could
one.
be, yeah, either one.
So if the river chest is required to beat Water Temple, then Song of Time
We're gonna
could get
have to go
Burning
to
Cat.
Ice Cavern, right?
Yeah,
Cause
we would have to in that case. Because Ice Cavern would have to be Song of Time if River Chest was
yeah, because
required to beat the
there's
dungeon.
no way it could be Burning Cat, because you can't beat Shadow without Nocturne, which you get from water being completed.
Yeah.
So if that's the case, then that would be where Song of Time is.
So I don't necessarily disagree with going. It is a big waste of time if there is nothing there and if it isn't like required. And like you said earlier, with all dungeons already being a thing, having to do 2 more dungeons is just kind of annoying. We got another slingshot bag coming out of Lolaway. There's a lot of kind of upgraded items here.
Hmm.
None that are super duper useful, other than the letter, which is required. And another thing we haven't seen is the last way of the hero location, which is probably in Zora's domain and Zora's
It
fountain.
has to be in either river or fountain or domain.
Yeah, I
Like,
think they've checked most of the other gossip stones, if not all of them.
yeah, I can't think of any. I mean, besides the really like stupid ones, like
Yeah,
Hyrule Castle, Song of Storms Grotto, and
yeah,
actually, this one's not a bad idea for Lolaway if he wants to go up to Gerudo area to get the one. Actually, no, he can't do that. He needs Hammer. The West Hyrule Field Grotto has a Gossip Stone in it too, but
yeah.
I rarely ever see anyone go in there.
It's because there's only a skull in there, and you need a fire
Cause
source to get it.
yeah, and a hammer
Do you
if
need a
you're
hammer?
adult.
Can't you
Yeah, you
open it
need.
with a bomb?
It's under a hammer boulder.
Oh yeah, that's right. It is a
You
red
can open
boulder.
it with a bomb as child, but then you need boomerang
Yeah.
for the skull.
Alright, looks like Lolaway is piecing out of the well. He's coming over here to go grab the skull in Lake Hylia. He's probably gonna grab all of his Lake Hylia skulls, maybe.
Yeah.
I mean, he has scale. He was probably thinking, okay, come here, go to the well, warp out, come here, and then after this, he could go to Zora's domain, do all the stuff in there, and then just, um, you know, it was just really lucky that he found the letter.
Yeah, I don't think he was planning on that at all, but it'd be definitely be a good idea at this point to go to domain.
Yeah. I don't think there are any. There's only one spider in Zora's River, yeah, as child.
2.
I know the one on the ladder.
The one in the tree.
Oh, and the one in the tree at the
It's at
beginning.
the
That's right.
other end, yeah.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. The first one you find.
Hmm.
Well, entering from the bottom anyway. Alright, so we really have a lot of items just kind of scattered everywhere. Although it looks like Shake is doing the long way to the boss key, not knowing the setup to jump.
It's kind of a hard jump to make, but it's definitely worth doing over all this stuff. This takes forever.
Alright, so Frogs 2, we finally have a hint for that. Frogs 2 is dead.
That's good.
So all we have left are the one sometimes hint we're looking for, and the last way of the hero location. Got torches. We're seeing a flame storage, so now he's gonna... Oh yeah, he already started his minigame. Of course, we were gonna say that. I didn't see the timer going for some reason. Looks like a 3-dive minigame. Not bad. Oh, from this far away it might be 4. Yeah, he didn't get it. He was way too far away. There we go. So after the waterfall, probably go into Zora's fountain, check his fairy fountain. Ooh, and Shake getting trolled by the water pillars. I think he fell off by accident.
There's no reason to go into Jabu because we already know what the stingers is, so I feel like Lolaway is just gonna go up to the fairy fountain, get his 2 hints, check that, and after that, I'm not sure what he's gonna do next. I really don't know.
Imagine if the bubbles was a boomerang.
What? You mean the stingers?
The bubbles.
It can't be. You can only do the stingers in Jabu. Unless you're talking about
No, you can do the bubbles
else.
too. The bubbles isn't blocked by a swinging thing, is it?
Yeah, it is.
I thought that one was clear too, but
No,
I was mistaken.
there's only one check you can do in Jabu. And yeah, they're called shaboms. Thank you, Electric Fortune.
The shaboom room.
Yeah.
Shabam just doesn't make me happy to say.
Yeah, I like to call them shabooms, even though it's only 1-0.
Yeah, I forgot there was a tentacle in front of that one. Alright, so it looks like we're gonna see the rest of Water Temple from, or unless he runs out of keys as well. We saw Lolaway leave or save scum the bottom of Water Temple, so he was able to keep his 2 keys. But we just saw Shake save warp, so instead of jumping over, there's a hook shot. So if he does get screwed by keys, if Morpha is a key, then we won't be able to get all the way into Dark Link, I don't think. I actually don't know about that. Don't quote me on it.
Yeah, I think that's right. Even though there is a extra key, I think that's true. I don't know, water key logic is really weird.
Yeah.
It's like Spirit, it's a disaster.
Alright, Lolaway's returning back to adult. We'll see if something triggers in his mind to do Lake Hylia.
Would be the best call for him right now. Let's see what he does. I really don't know what else he would do besides that.
Probably going to Ice Cavern.
Oh yeah, Ice Cavern for sure.
Yeah. Ice Cavern.
He's probably thinking. He probably realizes, with how much he's done in water, that he's gonna need Song of Time, and knows that Song of Time can't be on Burning Cack, if that's the case.
Ooh, gets taken out by the Moblin.
Oh, he's good.
Yep. Alright, we're gonna see if Shake decides to leave like Lolaway did, or if he decides to go over and check out Dark Link. I still think he's missing a key though, so he'll need to do the middle chest. Unless it's not a key. And if it isn't, then that's why we saw Lolaway leave.
Yeah, that would make sense.
Coming all the way through Lost Woods. Just so he doesn't have to
Okay.
play Saria's song for Mido.
I'm really glad that this shortcut is open as a adult, unlike the other one is frozen off. Otherwise, this area would be even more of a pain than it already is. I know Lolaway does not like the Zora side, so... Wait, he's not going to Ice Cavern.
He's probably going to grab the
he,
skull.
yeah, he probably wants the 2 skulls, he's gonna walk back up the river.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't disagree with this.
No, I don't either. This is a good idea. It's not that far down. You have hookshot, you have suns.
Of course, he's got long shot, so he can do it from forever away.
The other skull in river is adult. You're supposed to have long shot for it, but you can actually stand on the little fence and you can barely get it with hookshot. But he has long shot, so he doesn't have to do that.
Alright, so we did have a key from that middle chest, which means that we can go all the way to the Dark Link chest. So if it turns out to be a boss key, then River Chest is suddenly
An item.
an item.
I think Lolaway just doesn't want to deal with that situation of, oh, what if that's the item I need? Or go down there and realize he needs Song of Time for boss key without having Ferora's win, so I do not disagree with his play to go to Ice Cavern. As bad as it may be to be doing extra dungeons, I totally get it.
Oh yeah, okay, so there's the last key in the water temple. So that's, I think
Yep.
he's got to use 2 more, he'll have the 1 extra. So River Chest or Longshot Chest is a boss key and the other one is an item. And then Morpha is the other item.
Oh, and Lolaway going for the domain skull. It's for, oh, okay. The domain skull that's right here.
Yeah. He's up to 42 skulls, he's almost done with his 50 skull hunt.
Yeah, and there's 3 more you can get in Ice Cavern. I want to see if he, actually, can you even do that with strength 2? I don't think so.
Do
The
what?
the
Oh, yeah.
skull that's at the alcove. Can you?
Yep.
That's a strength 2 rock, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, because you can use hammer as well.
Yeah. There's not a whole lot of places where there are hammer rocks. There's like that one in Hyrule Field by Gerudo and then a bunch in Goron City, but
Yeah. I
really doubt he'll go all the way up there just for that skull. I mean, it would be kind of cool to see because I think it would be like the only time in the tournament I can think of that we'd end up seeing that.
He's over here anyway. I mean, maybe.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Alright, well, we're about to find out. Nope, he doesn't go for it. And he didn't check the hint either. Unless he did it before he went in, but I didn't see him look at it.
I don't think he looked at it.
Yeah, we got a recovery heart on the iceberg. So what do we have underneath the water? It's hard to see. Oh, it's a heart piece. Okay.
Vanilla.
Yep, just a vanilla heart. And there's a skull in this room that I didn't see Shake get.
Maybe he's not aware of it.
Oh, no, okay. It's kind of hard to hear because of the moving water. Yeah, I didn't see him get it. Oh, what's Shake doing? Oh, okay, he's thinking.
Does Lolaway only have 1 bottle?
Yeah, I think so.
Oh god, this sucks.
No, he's gotta have two, because there was there was the big Poe bottle we got
Oh
in
yeah, he got
Forest,
the big
and then
purple.
Ruto's
That's
letter,
right.
so he has to have two.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then I think they have access to a third one, but they just don't have it. Shake suddenly realizing he can use his long shot to cross the room without having to hit the switch an extra 2 times.
Long shot and hovers in this room makes it much better. Can skip hitting the switch a few times.
I mean, with long shot, you can just go straight to the end.
Mm-hmm.
Or with hover boots, I mean.
I never knew playing the game casually that you could hook shot like legs. It's
Oh yeah.
like I always wanted to stay as far away from them as possible, so never thought to try it. It's actually really nice strat for there and also in other places like Shadow.
Yeah, I always just use Deku Nuts to stun everything.
Yeah, I feel like that's the strat that
Oh,
Shake's
I
gonna
thought we were
do.
gonna see an amazing fight out of Shake, but it looks like he does know the Deku Nut strat for Dark Knight.
It's so
Sort
weird.
of. He's doing the opposite direction. He needs to turn a little bit to the
You want to
side.
be like between 45 and 90 and have a little bit of distance.
Like a 100-degree angle. Or like 120, I
Yeah.
guess. At least he doesn't have that much health, so it should be one more. Yep, there we go. I remember, I think the first race we saw in this tournament, we saw a, like, 16 Armored Heart Dark Link
Oh
fight.
god.
With the Master Sword. Alright, what have we got here? The boss key. Alright. So, we do have the boss key. That means River Chest is an item. Water Temple is barren, though. So, it looks like it doesn't matter what that item is. So, Shake is probably going to finish
Yeah.
Morpha, and then he won't have to come back, whereas Lolaway will.
Mm-hmm. He's getting a bit punished for this decision now.
Yeah, he is. So.
Unless something's in toilet.
Yeah.
That'd be his saving grace.
But
like, what items are left?
But
like,
I mean, Lolaway didn't know that Water Temple was barren until after he left, and now he does. So he probably knows. He just doesn't want to go back because he's already
right.
He knows he has the temple cleared, but he doesn't have the boss key yet, so he doesn't necessarily know that he doesn't need Song of Time for boss key. He just knows he's not getting
to
anything.
him it's a 50-50. He doesn't want to take. Ooh, that's a nice big Roran sword he's getting out of it though.
Yep. Taking the time to melt the red ice to deal a little bit of extra damage to every boss. Alright, nice snipe from Shake.
Now, the only item that at this point we don't know where it is that they 100% need is the boomerang. But I feel like they'll find it as they're doing their dungeons more than likely.
Yeah, hopefully. I mean, when you got an all dungeon seed, if you're still looking for an item, it's where could it be?
Huh?
Uh-oh.
GTG?
He's a little too far away. Yeah, it could be.
Last place they want to go on a seed like this.
Imagine true all dungeons having to clear out GTG, the well, and Ice Cavern.
That would suck.
So hopefully Lolaway doesn't get punished for being in Ice Cavern, but Bigger on Sword is good, but oh no. Shake is just way too far away. He needs to do his jump slash a little bit closer to the wall so he can just get his stab.
Yeah, you want to like get him into the corner, then circle around and quickly do a regular slash and then jump slash immediately, and doing that slash puts the distance just right, and then he's trapped in the corner and you can just spam jump slash.
Yep, did it again. A
Yeah.
little too far away.
He's not going all the way into the
Ooh,
corner.
and he gets grabbed. We see a
Oh
Morpho
no.
grab. Haven't seen this cutscene in a long time. Oh, he looks like he mashed well enough to get out of there before he threw him.
Wait, you can get out of there?
Yeah, you just gotta mash your buttons. And, like,
I
scream
never
stuff.
knew that. I I assumed he threw you every time.
It's like when Bongo grabs you. You do the same thing. It's
Yeah, I knew about that one. Like, I guess I just assumed because it's like a cutscene that you can't get out of it.
I guess not knowing that isn't that bad because it just means you're not getting hit by it. Oh, he actually got a stab out. Is he gonna get another? Oh no, he didn't. Having the fake Morpho right next to him. CFG didn't know either. Yeah.
What?
I mean, like I said, not knowing isn't that big of a deal. Alright, gets grabbed again. Are we gonna see a death to Morpha? I mean, the Nucleus can't have that much health left on it. He has gotten quite a few crouch stabs. Plus the jump slashes.
I do think that this is the most uncreative boss ever, personally, but...
I totally disagree. Like, in a
What?
water temple, having a boss that's, like, kind of
I don't
made
know,
of
dude.
water.
It's just a little ball that controls the water.
It's flavorful, though, like, right? In a boss temple, like...
I guess it
that's
fits
made
the
of
theme
water.
really well, but I don't
Yeah.
know. It's just... I like cooler designs, like old Bagia or Twin Rover or something.
So anyway, as we expected, Lolaway gets Song of Time from Serenade. There wasn't...
He's gonna go get his King
no, is he
Zora
gonna miss
check
it? Oh,
before he
he
leaves.
got it. Oh, there we go. Only one slash away. I think he expected there was only one slash, so... Oh, and he's gonna get this hint over here. Oh, he walks right by it. Still don't know where that last Way of the Hero location is.
Maybe it was a double for something and we didn't
Maybe.
catch it.
I didn't ever notice them seeing more than two of a single hint, but could have been
Do the
mistaken.
trackers on their streams only have 4 written down?
Yeah, they do.
Okay.
Lolaway found 2 Kokiri, Hyrule Forest, and Colossus, but yeah.
Ooh, this Aurora's Wind.
Yeah, Aurora's Wind and Stone of Agony, 2 items that are not super useful, but kind of useful. Aurora's Wind,
One's
much
more
more
useful
than
than the
Stone of
other,
Agony.
yeah.
Yeah. Alright, looks like Lolaway is going to go check the fairy fountain. Oh, he's probably going to get the skulls. I think he already checked the fairy fountain, this child. Or was that Shake?
One is useful and one is useful if you're Dozium.
Yeah.
True.
Get called out in Dozium. Alright, we got Shoot the Sun coming now, which has... a heart piece. Nice heart piece. Alright, meanwhile, Lolaway getting bullied up. Oh, he's probably grabbing it because he has no health left.
There you go, Snoopy. That's the right attitude.
Alrighty, so let's see. Lolaway's gonna need like another 5 or 6 skulls after this. 3. He only needs 3. He's got 47 skulls, 3 away from his 50 skull, 50 skull limit.
I guess he'll just be done with the Spirit Skulls. He's gonna go into Spirit without his Mirror Shield. Probably just set FW at the top, I'd imagine. And go hunt for it.
No. Alright, so it looks like Shake is making the play to go to GTG probably. He's got Epona all saddled up and ready to go. If he's smart, hopefully he'll grab some skulls on the way in Gerudo Valley. Or he could only be going for that. But we'll see. I think Lolaway is in great position here if he finds Boomerang somewhere in Adult Spirit.
Yeah.
He still does need the Mirror Shield. So we'll see whenever he goes back. This will be the second seed where someone gets screwed by adult fishing if he never goes back.
I feel like he would, because he has to go back to water anyway. And he's
Yeah,
gonna clear the dungeon, and it's gonna be right there. I feel like he would.
yeah. Like, clear the dungeon, check shoot the sun, and then swim to adult fishing and grab his Scarecrow song. Makes perfect sense to me.
I actually wonder, would it be faster to swim? Probably. Because you can hit the Gossip Stone and it lowers the water level, but if you have to play Scarecrow's song,
Yeah.
I don't think that would be
I
faster,
mean, with
but...
fast swimming, it's not that bad. It's definitely not as fast as backwalking for sure, but
Mhm.
I guess hitting the Gossip Stone takes like no time either.
It's no time. It's good when it drops.
Right?
Um,
Oh, we see Stone of Agony vibrating. There's a grotto nearby, but it doesn't have anything useful. I think it's just a cow.
it's a... Yeah, I think it's a... No, it's a Scrub Grotto.
A scrub
I
grotto.
remember from Scrub Sanity, yeah. That's a Song of Storm Scrub Grotto.
Yeah. I have done exactly one scrub sanity seed, and after that, never again.
I do not blame you.
Yeah, I do not like buying things from the skulls or the scrubs. Maybe if you like started with Giant's Wallet, it wouldn't be that big of a deal, but
Do you
yeah.
not have it on affordable?
Huh?
Did you not have it set to affordable where they're only 10 for everyone?
Oh, I don't even know if that was a setting back when I did it.
Oh.
Like I did that like when Rando first like started getting
Oh,
super
yeah, they
popular.
probably didn't have the setting back then, but yeah, there's a option called affordable scrubs where they're all 10, like the one
Oh, okay, yeah, I
by
don't
the
ever
entrance to
remember
Lake
doing that.
Hylia.
That would have been real nice.
Mm-hmm.
I think
Yeah,
that
because
probably
otherwise it
exists though.
just turns into what I like to call cash sanity, and that's a seed where anytime you have a cash sanity seed, you stand on the bridge grinding rupees for more than 10 minutes.
Yeah. Yeah, that definitely sounds like a lot of fun, for sure.
I remember
For
doing a shop
sure.
sanity seed where we had to buy like 1,500 rupees worth of major items from the shops. That was not
1,500
fun.
is pretty crazy.
It was so stupid, like iron boots for like 400 and it was like a bow for like 200. It was so stupid.
I guess another item that Lolaway would probably love to find in his spirit temple is hover boots. Because they don't
Oh
have
yeah,
hover boots yet.
that's the other item they need. I forgot. Hover boots and boomerang are the two that we don't know where they are.
Yeah.
Like Shadows is completely out of my mind right now because of just all dungeons.
Uh-huh.
But they're gonna have to do it.
Meanwhile, I don't blame Shake for making the GTG play. There's a lot of good goodies he could find in there. And he hasn't cleared Ice Cavern, so he can't do Toilet Chest. But if there's something somewhere else, then he could full clear it. I mean, even if there's a key, even if there's an item, he could still full clear it, except for that one chest.
Yeah.
That's what I meant to
Lolo
say.
found his last bomb bag on Child Side Spirit. Noah's
Lolaway has
office
all the
room.
bomb bags and all the seed sacks.
Mhm.
Alright, we're up to 31 skulls for Shake, and I think we're at 49 now for... Either 48 or 49 now for Lolaway. So he's
Yeah,
not...
he should be
Ooh,
done pretty soon.
yeah.
Cause there's my god.
Lolaway can't help but kind of jump in the holes there. A lot of people sleep on this room without hover boots, but...
There we go, there's the Din's Fire.
Yep. Nice easy Din's Fire to kill all the Anubis dudes.
I really like the Anubis.
Yeah.
I don't know why.
They're cool enemies. I always thought they were really annoying when I was younger, because, you know, the only way to kill them was with fire. Kind of annoying. Right, we found a third bottle on Shake's side in the fortress standing chest.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what else is only in spirit? The white bubbles. Only
Oh yeah,
place in
they
the
are.
game.
I
In
like
that one
the
room.
enemies that are only in one dungeons, like the clams and the urchins that are in Water Temple and flare dancers in Fire Temple. Those aren't really like minor
Yeah.
enemies. They're more like mini bosses.
I think the clams are called shell blades.
Yeah. I would much rather fight the flare dancers than the wizrobes in Majora's Mask, I think, though. They're a lot faster in Majora's Mask, but I mean,
The Wiz trope is so overused.
you
I have him
by the time
twice
you
in
see it for like
Snowhead. He's
the
in
fourth
Secret
time,
Shrine.
I mean, most people don't see Secret Shrine, but he's in the Castle of Icana too,
Yeah.
and in Stone Tower Temple. Like, I think when I saw him in Stone Tower Temple, I was like, can you just use a different mini boss, please? Like,
Not Wart. Wart is the worst boss in Majora's Mask.
yeah, I can agree with that. Wart's never fun. I mean, he's fun if you're like playing it for the first time. You just hookshot the bubbles off him and then just kill the bubbles. But if you're trying to do it fast, it's just annoying. Just throw a bomb into him and spin slash all the bubbles away.
I think the best mini boss probably is maybe the Igor in Stone Tower. I'm not sure.
Oh, not Gomez.
Gomez is like so forgettable though. It's just
Dude, Gomez looks so cool though.
He does look cool though.
He's like a Grim Reaper. Like, it's literally the best. Shake not going for the vases.
I don't go for the vases on the way there.
Yeah, with aim like this, I think he probably should have though. He needs to get 10 bullseyes in order to complete his
Yeah, and there's 7 pots, so
2,
I don't know about
3,
this.
5, 6. Alright, he just needs another 300 points with 4 shots. With 3 shots.
It's over.
Oh, 40 points short. If he didn't waste that one arrow, it would have been so good. And he gets a Deku Nut upgrade. AmazingShake has all the Deku Nut upgrades now. He can carry a lot of nuts. Shadow Temple was my favorite. Like, when I got to Shadow Temple, I was like, oh man, the atmosphere
Shadow's
is
really
so
cool.
good. I love
It's
Shadow
either
Temple.
that or Spear that's my favorite. I really like the last 2 dungeons in OOT. I think they're much better than all the rest of them.
Ooh, it looks like we're having a much better try this time. I think he can afford to miss a bunch of shots now with 12 arrows to go.
Yeah, it's in a better position.
But looks like he's going to be going for the pots. I gotcha. Target's on the way, pots on the way back. Nice and safe. So he only needs to hit 1 more bullseye and 1 more shot. I would just start spamming arrows at this point. There we go. Alright, looks like Lolaway decided to go back into Water Temple. Now that he has Song of Time, he can go back and double check his boss key chest. Unfortunately, Horse Archery doesn't pan out for Shake, and he only gets a heart piece. 1500.
I want to see if he's going to go into Gerudo Training Grounds or just go out and get skulls. It looks like he's going into. Yeah, he doesn't have FW. If I had FW, I'd just set it here and leave immediately. Yeah, it's a lot of checks, but I don't know.
I kind of
I'd be
agree
more
with
focused
what
on
you
the
were saying
skulls.
before, though. Having no skulls in GTG is kind of a reason.
Oh, never mind.
Having no skulls is kind of a reason to not come in here, but it's really hard to say when you got like a first chest like hover boots.
Yeah, I may be coming for that. Get the hover boots, then leave, you know.
Yeah. Unfortunately, he's still looking for Din's Fire, and I mean, he can't do Shadow anyway until he has Nocturne, so he's got a long way to go to look for that one. But
Where was Din's Fire
Din's
again?
Fire was in the Goron pot chest.
Oh yeah, Child
It's,
Goron
yeah,
City. That's
Child
right.
Goron City, so... I mean, we got these kind of locations where who knows where they'll go back. I mean, I'm sure Lolaway is going to find his Mirror Shield pretty soon after Water Temple. If he leaves, who knows when he'll go back, but I really don't
Lolaway.
know when... Did I say Shake?
No, I
Oh.
was gonna say something.
Oh, okay.
I'm like Lolaway.
Oh.
Please don't pull it stiff.
Oh.
You saw what happened. Don't do it again.
I'm shocked we didn't see any shield flicks after picking up that boss key in the long shot chest. Like 100%, I thought we were gonna see like, oh man, I wasted my time getting Song of Time.
Yeah.
It would be nice if it does play out, but the fact that Lolaway went back to Water Temple just means he's like one step closer. Having been to Water Temple now, I don't know if he got the skull in the waterfall room, but I mean, if he's not at 50 skulls, he will be shortly after finishing Water Temple.
Yeah.
Like with 49 skulls, he really has his pick of the litter on which skull to grab last. We're gonna be able to see actually what's in the strength chest here. Lolaway is probably gonna have a much better Morpha than Shake did, I imagine.
I
Ooh,
certainly
he actually
hope
pulled him out of
so.
the water early. Doing the slow pull back to the corner. Yeah.
He's using the hook shot a little excessively, but he doesn't want to lose him. There
Yeah.
you go. In the
Oh,
corner.
and he has the bigger on sword,
Yeah.
so it's just one stab. Slash, jump slash, stab, dead.
Mm-hmm.
So we see some stabbing likes. Taking revenge for all the shields that they've eaten over the past years.
Mm-hmm.
Got a nice Hylian shield.
Shake is really hoping to see the boomerang in here. Like,
Yeah. I think boomerang
he
is
doesn't know
something...
where Din's is, but we do. So like, really, that's like the only thing left, and they still have a few dungeons they haven't really done at all. So
Yeah.
it could be in Shadow. That's a lot of checks.
But they do have a lot of things they can do, but I mean, they can't really. I mean, sure, Shake can do Spirit Temple, but I mean, he needs that Mirror Shield. They can't do Knock Shadow, and both of them are looking for Boomerang. So, and then of course we do know where, you know, they can do Fire, but there's still the one more skull. But I can't imagine Shake not, or Lolaway not doing child fishing, or adult fishing.
He better go over there right now.
Yep, he sure is.
Good.
So, Lolaway's gonna grab his Mirror Shield from adult fishing, and then he's probably gonna immediately go back to Spirit Temple.
Yeah, go back to finish Spirit.
Yeah, he's already completed so much of it. I couldn't imagine him walking away now.
Yeah, and there's your last easy skull, and then you can go get Hammer.
We got Lens of Truth coming out from
Lens
Shake.
of Truth.
Unfortunately, Lens isn't super useful unless Market Game has something, but they don't. They have Requiem, so they don't need to cross the Wasteland. And getting to the Haunted Wasteland chest does not need the lens, so...
No. Technically, you don't need the lens for anything, but...
Well, logically.
Logically,
I always try and speak logically.
Yeah, I know. I would say that, like, lensless wasteland crossing both ways is probably like one of the most important things to know in randomizer. It's actually not even that hard.
Like, we saw purple rupees do it last in the seed earlier, and yep, there's Mirror Shield. So, oh.
Oh.
Oh, he's going back child. I wonder why.
Okay.
Oh, no, he's not.
What is he doing?
I'm not sure what he's doing. Something that I didn't see him do before, which I really think he should have done before he warped away, was grabbing his adult Scarecrow song. Oh, he might be turning in his Poe bottle. I don't think we saw him do that.
Oh, yeah, true.
Nope. It's going
Oh,
right
wait. I'm not sure. Oh, he's going to cack.
Oh, he's going to turn in his skulls. I think he did grab that one skull in
Oh,
Water
did he
Temple
get
after
50?
all. Yeah, if he grabbed the one in the waterfall room, then he would have had 50, because I had 49 marked before.
Okay.
So yeah, he's definitely going to turn in the rest of his skulls. Grab his hammer, and then after that... Who knows, after that he could go to fire or immediately go back to spirit. I think either play is fine, because he can warp to Requiem on one hand, he can go to, he can warp to Requiem to finish Spirit, then he can warp to Bolero, or he can do the other way around. It doesn't really matter. Looks like he remembered he has to do Bow Game while he's here as well, so...
Yeah.
I mean, in the end, the good thing about AD 50 Skull... Oh my god, we have a Boomerang. And it's... the Boomerang...
Something's making me believe that GTG's the last way of the hero.
It could be. Yeah. Boomerang on the standing key in GTG, so if Lolaway goes around the right side, which I don't think he really has any reason to, he would be able to see it immediately. But I mean, if he does go around the right side and sees it, he's definitely going to grab his hover boots in the first room, and then after that, he'll just be done.
Yep.
Yeah, and it looks like
He's gonna go do fire right away.
Yeah. So we now have all the items in the game found. So hover boots and boomerang are the only thing that Shake needs to, or Lolaway needs to find in GTG. So how soon he decides to go there and find them is really up to him. Meanwhile, Shake needs to make his way back to Child Goron City at some point to get Din's Fire, which, now that he has Boomerang, he could go into, and he wouldn't even need to go into Ice Cavern. So, hopefully he thinks of going to Goron City, but I can't really see any path where he needs to get there. Oh, and he skipped a chest. You skipped a chest, Shake. There's still one more chest that you haven't opened. There it is. There it is.
There you go.
That's got a key in it, hopefully. I think it has to. Yeah, it does.
Yeah, I'm just not sure if Shake's gonna think to go back to Goron City as Child.
Yeah.
Like,
I totally
he's so
agree.
prioritizing skulls right now, and I mean, you have the one in the box if you want to go through the Boulder Maze again, but
It looks like he's going to clear out his adult spirit.
yeah.
Which I don't
agree
disagree with,
this.
he needs to. And it's one last thing to do before he goes Child. He has the Mirror Shield, so I guess he can just clear out all of his Spirit Temple right now. But
I don't think it's tough, Sonoricus. I just think it's really long and tedious.
yeah, tedious is the perfect word for this seed.
Mm-hmm.
Like, when you're racing someone else and you need to grab 50 skulls, it's like, where are you making progress and where are you not? I mean, if you're going out of your way to pick up skulls in areas that you know you won't have to come back to, then you're definitely making good progress. But it's hard to convince yourself of that when you're just doing nothing to do with picking up items and just picking up skulls. But I mean, everything is spaced like really far apart in the seed too in terms of important items, so... I mean, at least they started off with the hookshot and a bunch of bombs, but...
Yeah, that was good. But it's also like, in a seed like this where it's all dungeons. There's really not much that's out of the way. The only things that are really super out of the way are the mini dungeons, which is why I'm not sure if Lolaway is gonna go to GTG for a while. I really don't know. Ooh, there's strength 3.
Oh, something I never thought of is Shake still hasn't been to bottom of the well, so he doesn't have the letter.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So if Shake doesn't think of going to the bottom of the well, then that could really, really cost him. So I guess he doesn't have Ice Cavern as a play, but
Yeah,
since
that stuff is not even like domain and all that's not even open for him,
yeah.
so
So if he finds Din's Fire in Goron City before going to the bottom of the well, which could happen, then he won't even need to go into Ice Cavern, because he already knows he doesn't need Song of Time for anything. Meanwhile, Lolaway will have a much easier time in GTG because he won't have to use his extra keys in the maze to get to where the boomerang was. Either way, so far it looks like it's going to be Lolaway's seed.
yeah.
I mean,
He's just not only is he know skulls better, he's just more experienced with rando and
yeah. And not only that, the only 2 items that Lolaway needs are both in the same location. So if he does
yeah.
end up going back there, he's got both of them immediately.
Like as soon as we see him go to GTG, like it's definitely over.
Yeah. The only thing is if he goes into GTG, grabs his hover boots, and then immediately leaves.
I could definitely actually see him doing that.
Yeah, just because it's like, oh, I finally can do Shadow, and then he leaves and does Shadow, and then he's on the hunt for
But
Boomerang again.
he would, in my opinion, be very dumb if you did not just set FW in there in case you need to go back.
Yeah, exactly.
Because like he doesn't have it set, so that's a good thing that he got from King Zora. So the Ice Cavern play wasn't entirely worthless.
Yeah.
He also got big runs from there.
Yeah,
So.
that's very true. Although, I have to say, I would rather play out a seed with the Master Sword if it didn't mean having to go to Ice Cavern.
I would too, yeah.
But, I mean, silver linings. If you're in a place you hate, may as well get an item you like.
Any Nehru's Love fans? Literally never used that item in my life. Oh.
Shake fighting the Invisible Master.
I like to try to spin it around and have him hit me and get the chest during the cutscene, but
Uh-oh.
sometimes you just get trapped over and over.
Floor Master is invincible while it's growing from a baby Floor Master into a big Floor Master. I wonder if you can grow multiple tiny hands at the same time. I've never actually tried that. You get like a room filled with Floor Masters. Shake really just needs to ignore the Floor Master and start pushing the statue. Like he's just wasting
You really
time
don't
fighting
need
the
to
Floor
do that.
Master. Alright, so we know that... Yeah, go ahead.
I was just gonna say, there's just a lot of small dungeon optimization things like that that people don't think about. Some people are more... It's just natural to them to kill everything in their way, thinking it's still gonna make them triggered and just lose time, but...
Yeah.
Generally, you want to avoid killing things that you don't have to, so... It's probably something he should try and do in the future.
Alright, well, Shake's got a nice boss key from from the middle of Fire Temple, so he's going to be dropping his Furor's Wind here and immediately going to finish the dungeon, which I think is a good idea. It gives him access to Shadow Temple. Except, well, the first 2 checks in Shadow Temple. Still needs hover boots to make it anywhere further in the dungeon.
The problem with this though is he gonna... Here's what I think might happen. He could go to GTG later and then have his FW still up in fire, thinking there could be something there, get Boomerang, and then not set FW in GTG. I feel like he wouldn't do that and would just abandon the one in fire, but who knows?
Yep. Oop, accidentally does a weird side roll off the ledge. There we go. But yeah, before when I let you finish what you were saying, I was gonna say, so, I mean, we don't know that Fire Temple, well, we know that Fire Temple is a Baron dungeon, but I guess Shake, or Lolaway doesn't. So I was gonna ask do you think he's gonna leave the temple once he finds the boss key, and it looks like the answer is yes.
Yeah, I wouldn't stay here either.
Yeah. I mean, he's still looking for the boomerang, so there's a good chance it could be, like, somewhere else. But at the same time, not really.
There's a lot of keys, and usually to get to a lot of the items you have to go pretty high, so
Something
I don't like.
Something I didn't think of that I think Shake forgot to realize is Colossus was Way of the Hero this seed, and both the items were nothing. So Shake must realize that the Song of Storms that he got from Colossus has to be Way of the Hero.
Yeah, he should.
I don't think there was anything in the Song of Storms grottos, not that I can remember, and so he's gotta know that there's something in the bottom of the well, and he just hasn't been there yet.
What's in the Kokiri Forest one again?
I mean, Kokiri Forest was Way of the Hero. That was
Yeah,
there, but there was nothing in that grotto because I remember when someone got that grotto, I said, oh yeah, okay, it looks like the only way they wrote Kokiri was the hook shot.
So yeah, I mean,
So yeah, I think he just maybe forgot about the bottom of the well, or he just had like a bunch of other stuff to do and just never ended up going back.
yeah, a lot of skull rushing progression. Because
Or
like,
he could be going back after he's done what he's doing in Shadow Temple or Spirit Temple here, and then he can get all the skulls in the bottom of the well with the boomerang now that he has it.
that's a good idea. Don't want to see a key at the bottom though. I don't remember if there was when Lolaway was going through the well. If you want to get all those skulls. Yeah.
I think Lolaway's making great time in this seed though for all dungeons. 50 skull. I mean, needing to go to every dungeon and picking up skulls along the way is always nice. It's like Lolaway was gonna do something real fast, but then he decided to save or to run out. Oh, he never checked his fairy fountain here. When he got... Oh yeah, he just got the hammer, duh.
Yeah.
Yeah, he really does.
It helps when you have a seed like this where it gives you lots of tools, gives you Sun Song, gives you hookshot, access to areas, so...
I mean...
He was able to route it really well as opposed to some seeds where you're just completely screwed.
It's been really interesting in watching these seeds, seeing that everyone kind of has their own playstyle and everyone has things that they're really good at. Like, getting lots of skulls, knowing where to go for skulls is one thing. Having a really good opening route is another thing. Like, keeping good track of your time of day and all that stuff. Pitting those against each other, it really shows who has the experience and who doesn't have the experience. When you see someone having to wait for like 5 minutes outside Hyrule Castle for time of day to change, whereas the other person has routed their beginning so well that they're like showing up 2 places on time.
Like, let's say for example we have a different skull seed, but this time you don't have hookshot for a while and you don't have Sun Song, but you get letter and bottle really early. Like, it's a totally different, like, there's totally different skull seeds. They're not the same. It really depends what you have access to, and seeing what people do depending on the skull seed you get is really interesting. Because a lot of times it's a little more straightforward, like a seed like this, where you have to go to dungeons anyway. And other times, you gotta route your overworld ones, and if you don't have Sun Song, you gotta make your time of day work, and I've definitely felt at times it to be a little stressful trying to make cycles and route everything together using time of day to time of day changers like outside Ganon's castle to my advantage, and it's just a lot of things together that are hard to think about while you're also trying to focus on your regular stuff like your way of the hero and progression. Just adds an extra element to Rando that I really like.
Ooh, Shake doesn't quite make it back on his long shot back. Alright, so it looks like Lolaway is going straight for his song, which will give him his last song. Like we said at the very beginning, they're probably going to be filling out their entire inventories this seed, so...
Except for adult trade quest item, I'm gonna skip over the Stinger's chest, but everything
Yep.
else they should get.
Yep, they know where to go to get it. Saw Lolaway on his C buttons there, having some fun trying to play the Sun Song. I think he might have had his stick pointed in a direction, so it wasn't counting his notes. Alright, and Bridge is down, so he doesn't have to fall in the moat like he used to. Those were dark times.
Yeah. It's happened a few times.
Alright, so we finally got Nocturne. Maybe we'll get the last way of the hero out of the Gossip
You
Stone.
imagine that. Do all dungeons to find your way of the hero.
Yeah. Looks like Lolaway is going back to Colossus.
Interesting.
He might be going to do his upper child spirit stuff. Because Lolaway... Has Lolaway done any of his child spirit? I don't remember if he came in here, because we were talking about it earlier, and we were saying it would be a good idea to do it, but it looks like he hasn't done any of his child spirit at all. He's probably just
Yeah, I
waited
don't
to
think he
do
has.
everything. Yeah, so he's going to be doing everything all at the same time, and then hoping to find Boomerang here. If he doesn't find anything in Spirit Temple as child, I think this is the last thing he has to do. This is the last thing he has to do as child until he finds a way into Jabu.
I can't think of anything he hasn't done as child.
Yeah, everything else has been found, so... Meanwhile, on the other side, Shake is almost finished with his Spirit Temple. All he has to do is fight Twin Rova, and he's pretty much done. And then after that, I'm not sure... Hopefully after this, he'll go back child and go check out the well. Because, I mean, I think that's the only thing he has left to do.
Well, he has to go back to Goron City, too.
Yeah, and
For
Goron
Din's.
City, but, I mean, there isn't really anything telling him to go to Goron City.
Yeah, not really.
Ooh, Lolaway almost fell off the edge there. Right, is he gonna get the ledge let go? Nope. Oh, yeah, he does. It's not super duper fast. Alrighty, we got the key, so he's immediately going back adult, I imagine. Yep. Ooh. Naburu Knuckle is really giving Shake a run around here. Hope he doesn't die.
Look, Mars, we have gotten better at it, alright? It's hard.
I can't lose shield if you have mirror shield. Yeah.
Yeah, mirror shield when you're in child side spirit.
Yeah.
Not ZFG, I can't do that glitch.
Yeah, banned from Rando. I just like never equip nuts, so I would lose my shield too. Or I just try and shoot down the try and shoot down the keys, and I end up getting like knocked aside by the bullets there.
I gave up on that. I just keep getting too close, and then they get me. Or panic, or whatever.
Looks like Shake isn't doing the strat where you stun lock Twin Nova. He was getting kind of lucky up until this last witch. Oh, right above. Yeah, he's got 3 out of 4 shots. Okay, pull out your hook shot. She's gonna fly away. Oh, oh. Might just barely hit.
Oh, that'll work.
Just barely.
It's easy. Oh, wow. He
Barely.
moved just out of the way.
Yeah.
I thought for sure that was gonna hit.
Yeah, it looked like it was gonna be close. Alright, there we go.
Always about to get to Twin Rova himself soon. I was so confused for a second because I don't have audio. I'm like, oh yeah, that's the sound she makes.
Yeah, you usually never hear that. I bring that up every seed that has randomized music because you usually are able to hear it.
I love the fire effects. Should. Oh really?
Yeah, I'm really bad at it with the Master Sword too. Hopefully he won't get trolled and we'll get 3 ice in a row. If not, then he's looking for a real fight.
The Master Sword you want to do is you want to be on the platform that Twin Rova's on at like the very edge and get her that way so you don't waste any time getting over to the platform. It feels like it's not gonna work, but it always does, so.
Alright, so Lolaway is almost caught up to Shake in Spirit Temple.
His third ice.
Twin Rova is Explode. Alright, now we're gonna see another Twin Rova fight in a sec. The stage has settled down for Lolaway.
Worst boss in this game, don't at me. The concept is cool, but the execution is just not.
It's the easiest version of Twin Rova. You have to fight her in, oh, it looks like an arrow. Yeah, don't go for that Shake. She's a pretty hard boss in the Oracle games.
I haven't got to her yet. I need to finish my seasons playthrough, but.
You only fight her in the combined playthrough?
Yeah, that's what I'm doing. I already did Ages.
Oh, okay. Have fun.
Well, I dealt with all the other bosses in the Ages, so I mean, it can't be that bad.
Yeah, Twin Rova's pretty hard. Oh, it looks like Lolaway is gonna get, oh, she's gonna move. Oh, just barely in the nick of time.
Nice.
Just barely in the nick of time. So we got another medallion out of Shake. Looks like he's going back child. He knows there's nothing left to do as adult. Hopefully we see a well play out of him. If he does do well, he can immediately go do Jabu. But again, he still needs those skulls. Oh, and he finally gets his Serenade from his prelude check. Right, he hasn't been back there either.
Yeah, I mean, heck, I actually kind of forgot about that too.
Yeah. Yeah, so, I mean, Din's Fire isn't like the most of his concerns. If he goes to Jabu, he can get the free skulls there. He can get the free skulls in the area in Zora's Domain, Zora's River. He's still quite a few skulls away from getting his Megaton Hammer, so, I mean, he still has fire to do as well, but it just depends on how long it takes Lolaway to go back to GTG. And I mean, since like he's been almost everywhere else in the game, he's been to the well, he's been to Ice Cavern, he's been to every dungeon now. The only place he can't get into is Shadow Temple, and he's full cleared every other dungeon except Fire. So after Twinrova, he's either going back to Fire or he's going to GTG, in my opinion.
I would pick GTG any day of the week.
I mean, I think GTG is a pretty good choice, but... And he gets, even with a slash, he gets a nice easy one cycle. Lolaway found letter inside the well. So
we're hoping Shake's going, but it looks like he's going to Lon Lon for skulls.
yeah. Yeah. The Desert Colossus was Way of the Hero for Song of Storms to get the letter from the bottom of the well, so... Either Shake doesn't know that songs can be Way of the Hero.
Good.
He should, or else he just forgot. Like, he has Desert Colossus on his tracker. He might have forgotten what he even got from there, so it's...
Maybe he knows, but it's just focusing on skulls for now.
Yeah,
I'm not sure.
It looked like he had 36 there, so I'll go update his tracker. Instead of doing Reverse Wasteland, it looks like Lolaway is going to Shadow Temple, so he's probably going to do the first couple checks in Shadow Temple, just to make sure it's not like vanilla hover boots or something. Oh, he can't get in there. Oh wait, yes he can. Duh. So he's gonna make sure it's not vanilla hover boots, right? Okay, we're on track.
Enter Shadow Temple, and you go to check the first two checks, and you get hover boots.
Has he done the grottos? Which grottos?
I think she means the Storm's grottos.
Oh, the Storm's grottos? Yeah, I think he's done both. Kokiri Forest was nothing, and I'm pretty sure both of them have done the Death Mountain Trail grotto. So, he's still looking for another 12 skulls.
Yeah, and the good thing about doing these two checks in Shadow is it's not like you lose that much time, because they're off to the side room anyway, whereas the rest of Shadow you go like essentially in a straight line, so yeah. It's really not that much of a time loss to do this.
The only waste of time here is having to come back to the dungeon after leaving. But I guess you're kind of right, because you would normally just have to run all the way out, whereas if you go back into the dungeon, you warp back, and then it's just like a walk down the corridor to get back into the temple, and then the quick gap, and then you're done. So it's about probably the same speed, plus a save warp. Alright, it looks like Shake is going to CAC. He could be going to CAC so he can run up to Goron City. And if he finds his Din's Fire, then that would be fabulous.
You don't like Skull Seeds, D?
Yeah,
maybe next time we should tone it down to like 30 for an item.
Yeah, that was my bad. See, Lolaway is the one who jinxed it 100%. Right before we started the seed, he was like, "All right, who's ready for the all dungeons 50 skull seed?" And I was like, hopefully not. And then, of course, when they check their market, me and Falcon are sitting here like, well,
It was very scary very early.
yeah. At least they knew right off the bat that their hammer was at 50 skulls, and
Yeah,
very
I mean,
early that
I
their
would still rather do
Ocarina of
this than
Nocturne.
I would rather do this than do a what I think is a jet seed, go to Ganon, and then he says that
It's in
light
Ganon's
arrows
castle.
are in Goron City, and then sorry as is on Ocarina.
Oh.
Or or the blind search for unhinted strength 3. Yeah, that's
Yeah,
another good
I've
one.
I've had to do a couple seeds that were that, and it's just
I had to
it's
do
terrible.
all dungeons to get Nocturne, to get unhinted strength 3 in Shadow, to get light arrows in Ganon's castle once.
Yep.
So,
It's where it always
so,
is.
so unnecessary.
All right, it looks like it looks like Shake is going to the bottom of the well, and I don't blame him because it's the only thing he had left to do. And from Lolaway, it looks like he's going across the desert, reverse wasteland into Gerudo. So I think we're gonna see an instant GTG from Lolaway, and if that's the
Yeah.
case, then he 100% is just gonna like jet through the rest of the seed. Ooh, I forgot to mark off that he's done Spirit, because he's
But
gonna
it
go to
looks like
He's gonna
go
go to
ahead.
GTG. He's gonna get his hover boots. He's gonna get his boomerang right away, and then there's just no stopping him from the rest of it. Meanwhile, Shake has to get his letter. He has to go to turn it in. Then he has to go do Jabu, and he still has to find his Din's Fire in Goron City. And finish getting all his skulls to do all of Fire. So, with the amount of stuff the two have left to do, it's definitely looking like Lolaway's win here.
Holloway would have to pull a major mistake and leave GTG immediately and just like not go back, and but I do not see that happening.
Alright, you guys heard it. Falcon's the one that called it.
No, I think he's not gonna do that. I just think that's the only way that he loses at this point.
Alright, it looks like Shake is clearing out the rest of the well, which I don't know if I would do that at this point, because I mean, if you're looking for lots of items, sure. I mean, he still is looking for his Din's Fire, and I think that's the only item he needs at this point. Din's Fire could be in the well, but I mean, with Jabu available, I mean, if he finished Jabu, he would probably be kicking himself if he didn't find Din's there, so
And
I think I would take the letter and leave, whether or not that's a bad play or not.
but Din's Furor's Wind in the bottom of the well. Can't say I've seen that before.
Haven't seen Din's in bottom of the well?
No, I meant setting Furor's Wind.
Oh, yeah. I mean, I don't even think Shake has Ferrar's Wind, does he?
Yeah, he doesn't, because only Lolaway has that,
Yeah,
because
I
that
think
was in,
Lolaway got it in Fire Temple, didn't he?
No, it was on King Zora.
Oh, right. That's right.
Fire Temple had Strength 3.
Yes. Oh yeah, I forgot to mark that he got that. Didn't even notice. Alrighty. So at this point, I think Lolaway's. I don't know if he's gonna check his check the archery before he does GTG. I think it would make much more sense for him to go into GTG first. Alright, we learned this earlier that you can't reach that chest from standing up there. You gotta get a little closer. Get down, Dale. Okay, there you go, Lolaway. Now you can reach the chest. Just some BAMs. Lolaway gets his red potion from the bottle. You know, I'm really interested in finding out where this last way of the hero is. Oh, he is going to check archery.
Really think it's GTG. They probably put it on the Song of Storms grotto and the West Hyrule Field grotto or something stupid.
Maybe. I do have the spoiler log here, so we can always pull her open and have a look. I'm sure they would be interested in hearing where it was as well. So.
Shake.
Ooh,
Okay.
Shake almost fell.
Shake not doing the corner strat where you backflip and do side hops, but he made it.
He hit the like.
Yeah, killed the like with bombs. There you go.
Don't see that very often. Oh, scary like. Oh no, he got eaten. His shield disappeared right as the like blew up. Alright, Lolaway almost losing his archery game, but... Uh-oh. Oh no, he lost the archery game!
Oh my god!
Oh no! Oh no, Lolaway.
He like missed the first few shots at the start, and then he got them going, and then he just started getting a little cocky, and then missed that last pot.
Yeah, I think he let go of his one arrow by mistake, and then the second one he tried to get, and he just missed. Oh, that's terrible. That is absolutely terrible. Alright, it looks like he's doing much better this time, though. So, I mean, he still needs to land at least 5 more bullseyes for sure. Or 4, I guess. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. There we go. Even though you can complete horse archery in one try, most people do it in 2 still. So.
It's a hard mini game.
Yep. Alright, so Shake has done most of the bottom of the well. He just needs to do his dead hand stuff. Which
he knows dead hand
is dead.
So he's just gonna go in, get the chest, and then leave.
Hopefully.
So.
Hopefully he just leaves.
Did he not get that other chest? Well, he sees it on the map.
Yeah. There it is. Alright, so... Oh no! Lolaway's checking Hammer Chest. Even though he knows Gerudo Valley is barren.
Yeah.
Is he... Okay, he's going...
Maybe he forgot about that hint.
Oh, okay, he's going back to GTG.
Yeah.
Maybe he just wanted to get all of the use he wanted out of his hammer.
Yes.
Yeah.
They're not having it for so long.
He worked hard to collect those 50 skulls. He's gonna get that chest whether you like it or not. Alright, it looks like Shake knows. So he's going into GTG. He's almost sure to find his last 2 items.
How many skulls is Shake at?
Shake. Let's see. He's been on the bottom of the well. He's got to be at least.
He should
40.
have hammer like pretty soon at this point.
He's got to be at least 40 skulls. I don't think he's collected pretty much any of them in the bottom of the well, except for the one.
Oh, did he not go in either door?
Alright, so Shake has... Oh. Looks like Shake is putting Furor's Wind in GTG, and he's going to go do Shadow Temple now.
Lol. Mean.
At Lolaway, sorry. So, I think
Yeah.
that's...
I agree with this play, for sure.
Oh, does he have 50 skulls? thought yeah, he only has 40. But he knows his 40 hint is barren.
Nothing.
Yeah, there's his 30 skull, so... Yeah. Everybody this late into the seed is, not quite listening to their tracker, so... I don't mind this play from Lolaway, just because if you know Fire Temple, like, there's nothing there. I mean, he could need to go back up Fire Temple, but with Shadow Temple, you can easily just see if there's any items in it. You have to clear most of it anyway, because you're looking for keys along the way. So, drop a hot Furrow's Wind in GTG, double check your Shadow Temple, and then if there's nothing there, you just go back and finish GTG. And if there's nothing there, you're guaranteed to have to go back into Fire Temple.
Any situation where you can drop Fro's Wind in a mini dungeon or come back to somewhere else later when you have a bunch of checks open from a new dungeon and then come back later is definitely a good idea. Like, it's just when you already have to clear so much anyway, why clear more if you don't have to? Like, you could just find the item in the dungeon and you're done. Save yourself however long it would take you to finish the rest of GTG.
Yeah. Oh, there's the gold scale. Yeah, I think Lolaway is gonna immediately go back to GTG once he's done.
I think so too.
There isn't any other reason he would have left Furor's Wind there, because his Furor's Wind location... I mean, Fire Temple isn't that bad. You can climb Fire Temple, but to go all the way back to GTG is a really long way. It's definitely a lot harder to get into GTG than it is to get into Fire Temple, even if you do have to climb.
Yeah, unless you don't have Bolero. If you don't have a Bolero, then it's a huge pain.
Yeah.
If you don't have Bolero or Minuet, then that is actually terrible.
Yeah.
That is so far away.
But, I mean, yeah, Lolaway has every song. He's missing the last quiver, but I think he has every other upgrade. Alright, we got the last bomb bag out of, out of Shake now. So Shake still only has 41 skulls, so I think he needs to go to do his Jabu right now. Go grab all the skulls in Jabu, go grab the skulls that he can along the way, which there isn't really many along the way, aside from the one he can get his child in Zora's Fountain.
Electric Fortune, there really isn't anywhere else much you can go besides fire. If you have to choose between... Oh my god.
He's stuck.
I saw him.
Yeah, he can't...
Can you like side hop out?
No, he's stuck.
Wait, what? I didn't know that.
Yeah, he can't get out of there. Oh, maybe he can. I don't think he can on that slope, though. It looks like he tried to side hop and back hop.
I've never seen that ever.
Okay, he has to go back to the start of the dungeon.
Nay, never mind.
Yeah. That's funny. I've never seen that before.
That's hilarious. He just barely cut the corner too much, and then I saw him fall. I'm like, okay, he's just gonna avoid out, and then I was like, wait, what? That's funny.
Yeah. But yeah, Electric. Earlier, I know Falcon just answered your question too, but I pretty much said like the only route I expect Lolaway to take. Like,
it's pretty set in stone at this point with how much they've done and how little is left.
It's like, go back to GTG because he has Furor's Wind there. If he finds nothing there, he can Bolero back to Fire Temple, go clear the rest of that, and those are all the checks he has left to do in the game. So I think even if Shake goes to Goron City right now and finds his Din's Fire, he's still like a million miles behind.
Yeah, it just doesn't matter because he's behind on progression, and Lolaway is just better at getting checks faster.
The other thing,
playing the game, so
the other thing is that yeah, Shake still needs to get 8 skulls, but I don't think he's done any dirt patch skulls at all. Like, he's never had bugs in his bottle.
I don't recall him having bugs at all.
Yeah.
Just
So
pulling a dozium.
So everybody listening who's in chat, who's in this tournament, if you gotta collect a lot of skulls, do not underestimate the bugs in the bottle. It's nine free skulls I think you can get.
The question is Shake gonna enter Goron City after he does the rest of his Lost Woods stuff? He really should, like,
I really think he's gonna go take the warp into Zora's domain, because he knows that he can go do Jabu, right? He knows he
yeah.
can go straight to Jabu and finish his
But like you're still
mandatory
looking
checks.
for Dins, and those checks are there, and it's not like you can warp to Bolero as a child and enter Goron
Oh
City.
yeah,
So
you're
yeah,
right.
there we go.
Look at
I
that.
would dip, get those checks, come back through this shortcut, and then go beat Jabu.
You're 100% right. All right. Well, again, he's gonna have Din's Fire pretty soon. All he has to do is quickly play the song for Darunia here, and then once he gets Din's Fire, that's the only other item he's looking for. He'll be in go mode pretty much, except for the hammer, but he already knows where the hammer is.
I like seeing 50 skull seeds. I don't like seeing 50 skull seeds like this. It's a little boring, but it does test your knowledge of routing skulls when you're going lots of places.
Yeah, it really does. That's the one thing I have been really entertained by this race and impressed by Lolaway actually is the way he's routed skulls in this seed.
Yeah, it's just like key areas to keep in mind to combine stuff like the Lost Wood and Kokiri stuff at night. Obviously your CAC 5 going back to Lon Lon is a good idea, though he didn't do that because he still does not have Boomerang, but
Yeah.
dungeons is like the #1 thing. Chaining bug bottles together, like warp to Colossus, warp to Bolero.
I really like that strat Lolaway did to get crushed by the spikes to reset his the platform, so he knew that he was gonna make it using the hover boots. That's something I've probably have seen, but I just didn't notice up until now. It looks like Shake is
Yeah,
entering a little bit
it's
of
nice to
trouble.
just be on the cycle and go do it and not have to use lens or stop and use the hook shot or bow.
Ooh, Lolaway gets a piece in the face. Hey, Dozier. Alright, we got another gold rupee from the big chest. Yeah. It isn't that close though.
Really
It
isn't.
really isn't that close. Lolaway is like miles ahead of Shake.
Lolaway's deep in the shadow and like
And he's already 100% finished fire.
and he has his hammer and has done all of fire.
Well, I guess he couldn't beat
Well, not all
all
of
without
it, but
fire, but
he's beaten Volvagia and doesn't need to go back there anyway, and isn't
alright.
going. I would hope isn't going back there
Yep.
immediately.
So Shake finally has his Din's Fire. Hopefully he knows now that that's the last item he needed. Yeah, it looks like he's going back to Lost Woods. So it looks like he's going to be going immediately to Jabu to finish off his seed. Shake is in go mode. Lolaway still hasn't found the boomerang, but he does have Furor's Wind set in GTG to go back and get the boomerang when he's done. It would be interesting if he went right in GTG and saw the boomerang sitting there on the block
Uh,
instead of going left.
I don't think he's going to.
I don't think he's going to either, but it's just one of those thoughts.
Most of the time I go left, but
I think
maybe he's thinking about it.
with Song of Time, I think it's still proper to go right just to clear out your like free checks like behind the Song of Time blocks,
Yeah.
and then just from there, then you can loop all the way back around and then do toilet last, and then go back to the maze.
I I would just go to do the maze first, find out if toilet's a key, then avoid it. Don't like doing it.
I can't remember if toilet was a key in this seed. But it doesn't matter, like, he's not gonna get to the maze anyway. The moment Lolaway sees that boomerang on top of the platform there, he is just finishing his seed.
Yeah.
But unless he, I mean, even if he doesn't go back to GTG, I still think I still think if he goes and clears fire, he's still like gonna beat Shake.
Yeah.
Like, he just doesn't have enough time to complete as much stuff as he needs to do.
There's
Whereas,
just not enough things for Lolaway to waste time on for Shake to catch up at this point,
yeah,
even if he makes the wrong play.
yeah. Because, I mean, like, Shake still has a long way to go into Fire Temple to get the boss key. Like, I think it's on the Goron chest, isn't it? So, like, in the Boulder Maze. So, I
I
mean,
believe so.
yeah. So that's still, like, a pretty far way up Fire Temple. And that, plus having to fight Volvagia, plus having to go grab Nocturne at all, and then turning back Adult, going and doing Shadow Temple. It's a lot of time spent not doing dungeons that Lolaway has already completed.
Yeah.
So, I think it's only a matter of time before Lolaway finds his boomerang, because I'm pretty sure he's done every other check. He had enough time to walk around the world doing all the checks in the world, like when he was collecting skulls, and that's the one thing that Shake didn't do. So yeah, it's still been a pretty good race, but I think it's pretty safe to call at this point.
I'd say it's pretty over.
Yeah, didn't see how many skulls Shake's at, but it's
When
pretty
when it comes
close.
down to a seed where it's essentially clearing everything, the person who wins is the person with the better execution, and when you throw in skulls and routing them in better, then that's just more time save right there, and Lolaway is better at both of those departments, so
Yeah. I mean,
there's not like a stupid play that he can make in a seed like this that would lose him the seed, so
I don't think it's
pretty.
100% execution, but that definitely
It's
makes up
not,
for it.
but it
As we
the
saw in
focus.
Dozium's match versus Stiv.
Yeah, but the thing with that was it wasn't all dungeons, so there was stupid things for Stiv to waste time
Oh
on
yeah,
for Dozium
that's
to
true,
catch
that's
up,
true.
whereas here there just really isn't because they both have to do so much.
Yeah, this is very true. Ooh, get flattened. Lolaway got hit by the hand. Ooh, only gets 2 crouch stabs on Bongo Bongo.
I recently learned from watching someone in a weekly that you can just keep doing quick spin attacks and kill Bongo like that if you're bad at the one cycle,
Yep.
and it works.
Going back to Runner Guy playing Ocarina of Time blindfolded, that was how he killed Bongo Bongo.
Yeah, it
Just
works.
target the hand, and then just quick spin the eye until he dies. Just keep him in that stun lock. And then scream the quick spin mastery.
Wait, what?
Yeah, if you've ever heard anyone say the quick spin mastery, that's where it comes from. I'll
I've
find
never
the
heard
clip for
that.
you after
Okay.
this. Alright, so Shadow Temple done for Shake or Lolaway. He could go grab his prelude from Burning Cat. But I think he'd rather go back to GTG. Looks like he is gonna go do his Burning Cat. I mean, it makes sense. He's in the graveyard. It's right there. It'll save him a save warp when he has to go back to Temple of Time. And it's probably a lot faster to play Prelude anyway than to save warp, so...
Wait, what? Wait, this is Song of Time.
Oh, it's Song of Time, my bad.
Wait, he got Prelude and Ice Cavern then.
Oh.
Yeah, that makes sense because the boss key wasn't locked behind River Chest.
That's right, that's right. I don't know why I thought he got Song of Time.
I think it's because we were talking about that, and then, Shake was doing that, and then we probably got distracted with something else.
Yeah, probably. Oh yeah, I can even see it on his tracker. Whoops. Just totally missed that this entire time.
So yeah, that makes even more sense why he would go and get that in case the boomerang was in toilet.
Yeah. Oh, and now that he has Song of Time, he doesn't even need the keys, yeah. Okay, well, now that he has Song of Time, it would be good to go right, but it looks like he's going left. So he's going all the way around. So we got a full GTG clear here before he notices Boomerang. And then at least we won't see Toilet.
I just know as soon as he finishes and gets in here, he's gonna be so fucking mad at you. You're gonna get it.
Yeah, I know. The moment he saw that Megaton 50 skull hint, I was ready for it. Did somebody say toilet?
Whoops! All dungeons.
Yeah, oops, all dungeons.
Oh yeah, that's it. Oops. I really wish you could do the toilet with gold scale or something. That'd be really cool, but
Yeah,
it's just way too deep. I don't know why. I just really like gold scale. I love gold scale water so much. I just feel like it's such an underused item.
This game needs Zora Mask.
It would be 10 times better if you had Goron Mask instead.
If the Zora Mask made you swim faster. Not turn into the Zora, but I mean just swim faster.
Yeah, I mean, Zora Mask is cool, but I mean, dude, Goron Mask is just better. I'm sorry.
It's too bad the special masks don't actually do anything in the game. Like, Gerudo Mask doesn't do anything. Goron Mask, Zora Mask don't do anything.
I guess it was just the concept they had that was like really underdeveloped, and then they just decided to expand upon it in MM.
Yeah, I mean, I think you get different lines out of people if you talk to them while wearing the different masks. But that's about it.
Yeah.
And then the Mask of Truth lets you talk to the Gossip Stones. And they just like tell you little hints.
I actually don't even know what the Gossip Stones tell you. I never did that.
Alright, so we're just kind of waiting for... we're just kind of waiting for Lolaway to make his way through GTG. We know what's on the other side, so...
It's not as exciting as the other race I commentated, but I mean, it was interesting watching the skull routing.
Oh yeah. I mean, sometimes it just be like that, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah, we got 45 skulls. He's almost at his 50 total. Almost. It is pretty crazy how fast we saw Stiv get all 50 of his skulls, and even Lolaway collected all 50 of his skulls pretty quick. It's like when you just kind of beeline for your skulls, it really helps the rest of your seed, because then you can just kind of do what you need to do. As long as you're not wasting time while collecting skulls, then you're in good shape. Shakes. Doesn't have Deku Nuts equipped. Oh, there we go. Lolaway just got told he didn't taste it. Well, that's a shame.
That's unfortunate for you.
Ooh, that was very close to this shake. But aside from the first cycle, Baronade pretty fast.
Yeah, it's still pretty decent. Way better than Connor's Baronade.
Right. Meanwhile, Lolaway only has one room to go before he's done the countdown to his boomerang. And hopefully he sees it before he starts collecting his rupees. He looks over. That is the boomerang, so yep. He knows that he is now in go mode.
Mm-hmm.
Meanwhile, we finally have a spirit medallion coming out of Shake. He's probably... I was going to say he's probably hoping to get an item he wants on Zelda, but the only item he needs to beat the seed is a Megaton Hammer. And he knows where that is, so...
How many
Alright,
skulls does he have?
45.
Oh. I would have gotten the Zora's Fountain ones.
Yeah.
Not
So,
sure what he's gonna pick for his last few.
I'm not sure. I don't think he knows either. Like, hopefully he goes and
Like,
grabs
I would
some
have turned it
bugs.
tonight, got the one on the bridge, got the one by the fountain if he didn't get that already.
He might grab the two in Zora's River. I don't think he's gotten either of those. But he could.
Yeah.
He could. Yep, and that's exactly what he's doing. Meanwhile, we're seeing Shake play Serenade. He's going to Zora's Domain.
You mean Lolaway?
Lolaway. I've been saying Shake and Lolaway wrong the entire game. Just give me a break.
I get it. You've done 2 races now.
I don't know why. I had no problems in the first one with toucans and purple, but I don't know. Since the very beginning, I've been like, Shake, sorry, Lolaway. Lolaway, sorry, Shake. I'm just gonna take a gulp of water here. Everyone remember to exclamation hydrate.
What is this clip? Oh, this clip, god damn it.
Yeah, I decided to put that
I
on
know
the
what
bottom.
that is. Oh man. Frickin' Asme.
And so, Shake, he's down to his last couple skulls. He's got 47, only needs 3 more to go. Looks like he's going to Lake Hylia to grab the last couple. He can only grab 2 there if he hasn't grabbed them already. But looks like he's choosing to... I think he's already been over to the fire arrow pillar. He's going to grab the one on the back of the lakeside lab.
So, Lolaway doesn't need anything, so he's gonna be skipping
Oh yeah.
decent amount in Jabu, so Jabu is probably only gonna take like, I don't know, 6 minutes, 7 minutes.
Yeah.
Not too long, and then
He's just gonna burn straight through, doesn't need skulls, doesn't need checks. He's just gonna grab Ruto and just chuck her straight to the end of the dungeon. We got 48 skulls. 48 skulls from Shake. He's almost there. Let's see if he
I
can get his
just,
last 2 skulls before Lolaway finishes Jabu.
I'd have to guess that Lolaway's probably gonna finish with like a 410, something like that. So we're almost done here, but
Yeah,
it's got a little bit left.
I think 410 is pretty reasonable. Which isn't bad for what they had to
No,
do. It's definitely
no,
not super trolly with a lot of like items hidden behind other items, but
no, 6-hour seed.
yeah.
I mean, it shouldn't ever be. If for like decent players, it shouldn't take more than 5 hours ever.
Yeah, I think ATZ said every seed should be under 4 hours.
Yeah.
TM.
Well, some of them are a little dumb, but
Yeah, they are.
I try and make sure I never get above like 430. If I get above 430, I just feel bad.
Yeah, I'm sure on a seed like this, I'd probably be getting probably more than that, because I don't know. I'm personally really bad at routing skulls.
Just
Absolutely
gotta
hate
do
it.
more skull sanity seeds.
See, for me, I just keep skipping the ones that I'm like, ah, I don't really want to grab this. I don't have enough items to grab this. It's like the ones in Lon Lon Ranch. Like, if you don't have the boomerang, it's like, ah, I'll just skip these two and come back if I find the boomerang.
Yeah.
But then, if you do that in enough locations, then you're just...
What is Shake trying to get in the grass?
I'm not sure. Maybe bombs? I think he's got a lot of
Oh,
bombs.
I think he wants a bug.
Oh,
I don't know why he didn't get one like way earlier and do bug bottles.
yeah.
I'm gonna have to
He
ask him
really,
about that.
really, really should have.
Bug bottles are so underrated, and I used to do the same thing. I would just not do them. I'd be like, oh, I don't know. Takes forever for them to come out, but like, no, they really are super convenient.
Yeah. I mean, it's just a free bug, and especially right here when you're looking for your last two, when you're looking for your very last 2 skulls and you have no idea where any of them are, and you're like, oh, all of a sudden I can do all these dirt patches I've been ignoring the rest of the game. Then it's like, oh no, where do I even go from here?
You go to Lost Woods and get those too.
Yeah, Lost Woods. I'm sure there's a rock somewhere that has bugs.
Yeah.
I didn't know you could kill those jellyfish with Deku sticks if you stun them.
Yeah, you can.
I thought the only way to kill them was with the boomerang. That's interesting. Oh, Lolaway getting hit by the little electric dudes. I'm not really sure what they're supposed to be, but... Oh, it looks like we're going
Oh,
to grab the one in Gerudo Valley by night. After this, I don't know what his last skull is going to be.
yeah, who knows?
I can't think of any more skulls that you could grab.
Bruh.
Oh, that was 50, I think. I saw
Oh,
5-0.
okay.
So that was his last skull. There we go.
I found out what the little tentacle guys are called on a quiz I did where I tried to type in Baronade and it canceled early. They're called Baris.
Oh, Bari.
Little tentacle electric thingies that just float around.
I got that a lot
Yeah.
when I used to like Banjo-Kazooie, Banjo-Tooie quizzes or something. You go to type something in and it just like auto cancels it because it
Yeah.
thinks you're trying to put in something else and you're just like, oh well. Lolaway getting manhandled by the Octorok a little bit. Or the big Octo.
Yep, big octo.
Alright. Shake making his way back to adult. He's gonna go grab his hammer as adult. and then just immediately beeline towards Fire Temple, probably. I mean, it makes sense. He's in go mode. He's just gotta go, go, go. But it's just one of those unfortunate things where you're thinking like, man, I gotta go to adult, go to fire, go back to child, immediately go back to adult.
It's just really, just so inconvenient how everything was laid out with the dungeons.
Yeah. Okay, Lolaway had a pretty fast Jabu.
Yeah, it goes by pretty quick when you can just skip the stingers, skip the shabooms, just beat the dungeon.
Yep, there's the switch. Alright, so while there's nothing really going on stream right now, I guess I'll talk about all the races coming up, since I normally do that later. After the end of this race, in like a half hour, at 10 o'clock Pacific, Nate is going to be racing Riot Tyson in the Damageless tournament, so Chile and Trinan are going to be hosting and commentating that one. So that'll be like, yeah, a half hour after the end of this race, probably. Then we have in the morning at 12 o'clock Eastern, 9 Pacific, I'm going to be hosting Aaron versus Trep in the Damageless tournament. In the afternoon, at right after that, in 3:30 Eastern, is Game Guy versus Jack, or Game Guy Jack versus Not Weege in the Xbox Trotless tournament. And then in the evening, well, evening for Eastern, but 3:30 Pacific, 3:30 Pacific, and 3:30 East. Sorry, 6:30 Eastern, 3:30 Pacific. iCup is gonna be racing Happy Pembles in the Ocarina Randomizer tournament. So, and that's gonna be hosted by me and Conditioner. So exciting.
iCup is such an interesting player. He either kills it and does some stupid play and gets an insane time, or he just struggles and then just quits. Look at his weeklies. He quits like over half them, but the ones he finishes, he gets like top times.
I mean, I said that before. Like, iCup is gonna be the real wild card in the tournament, I feel. Because, like you said, either he gets, like, some incredible, like, 200 IQ play and just, like, executes everything really well, or he gets really bad luck and gets stuck on an item for literally forever. So, we'll see how that race goes. Tune in tomorrow night, find out. So while I was busy announcing all that stuff, Shake finally got his hammer, so he's starting his journey into Fire Temple. Meanwhile, Lolaway has finished his Jabu, he's done Baronade, and now all he has left to do is to climb up and fight Ganon. So, I think this was a really interesting seed to watch. I like watching seeds like this to see how the runners route their problems that they have. Especially all dungeons, because we saw a 50 skull seed the other day from Stiv. He routed his skulls like really crazy. Why is Shake not doing Shadow? Because he needs to beat Fire to be able to get into Shadow. Yeah. So, Stiv routed his skulls really well and just kind of beelined for him. And this seed was kind of different because they have access to more dungeons because they need to be into stuff. I think Lolaway's decision to go into Forest and Dodongos super early and grab skulls was probably one of the reasons that why he was so far ahead starting. And then on top of that,
Skull Dungeon Rush was like the best decisions he made, like in a seed like this.
And then on top of that, grabbing his bugs super early with his bottle and double checking all of those locations as he went was also a really good thing to do when he was child. So it's just one of those things to think about going forward in the tournament. Shake is probably going to be hoping to find his boss key as soon as he can. I know that's a pretty obvious statement in like any regard for doing Fire Temple, because nobody likes going up Fire Temple, but I mean, especially now when he knows that the last dungeon he has to do is Shadow, and it's just such a long haul through.
Yeah.
He's probably having the sweats that Lolaway has started, you know, going into his end game. Unless, of course, he gets lucky and assumes that he's in good shape. In which case, he will be horribly mistaken and disappointed.
I do like watching seeds like this, but I don't know, the last like hour is just kind of, I don't know, it's just not as exciting as it is earlier on.
When you don't know where all the items are. I mean, it's a little different when both players are just kind of stuck looking for the same item, and it's just like, oh, who's gonna find it first? Or, who left something behind and didn't do something, you know, and are they gonna get punished kind of thing. But when there's only a certain number of checks that each runner can do, it kind of does ruin the fun a little bit, because you know that they're gonna find it eventually, it's just who's gonna find it first. Or like we saw earlier with Purple Rupees and General Toucans, where one player is just constantly following directly behind the other one, so you know that they're never going to get ahead because they're doing the exact same checks, just in a different order. Or in the same order, but like they did some stuff before.
Lolaway got hit all the way down by Ganon.
Yep. Lolaway taking a second to regain himself. Good thing he had his long shot equipped. See, a lot of people who have the Bigoron sword often have the long shot equipped, just in case they fall off, and then when they equip their master sword, then they can just equip their master sword and hammer at the same time.
Yeah, he likes the strat where you hook shot the edge and then pull up on the very corner, and then he if you come up a bit late, then he doesn't do that slam he just did. But you can just stand on the platform and then jumper. He hovers across like that. Yeah, he was a little bit slow.
Ooh, I thought he was gonna go down with.
It's also possible you could see Ganon put the ball of energy above his head.
Oh yeah, we're seeing that right
there,
now. Oh,
like
he
that.
missed. Is he gonna get it?
Oh my god!
Oh, he got it. The lag on
He's
N64
got that extra
really
lag
him.
time to get the hit.
Yeah. That was funny. Yeah. I mean, if he would have failed it, I mean, he could have done a quick spin underneath, and that would have, like, sent one of his shots back, but I mean, it's, of course, way faster just to hit him with the light arrows while he's busy. Oh no, Lolaway didn't get the jump slash into the cutscene. Alright, so he's gonna have a long Ganondorf fight. I don't even think he got a regular sword slash into the fight.
These cutscenes take so long.
Yeah, they do. Looks so cool though.
It does.
Yeah. I remember a lot of runners used to do like Ocarina of Time, Majora's Mask 100% back-to-back as like a marathon run. And you could choose whatever order you wanted to do the two games, but I remember Enoch, one of the Ocarina of Time runners, he always said he liked doing Ocarina of Time second, because, I mean, Majora's Mask is his better game, but also Ganon was a much cooler boss fight than Majora's Mask, so it was just cooler to do last.
Oh, I really like the Majora fight.
I do too, but I definitely think Ganon is a cooler fight, because, I mean, you got the fire, and you got the lightning, and it's like a showdown.
But the atmosphere is cooler, but I just think the actual boss is kind of lame. I think the Majora fight, I mean, it's just in this arena.
It's lame if you cheese him. If you just roll under his legs and hit his tail, it's not like you use your light arrows to stun the great beast and hit him when he's weak kind of thing. Instead, it's, lol, I'm just rolling under your tail.
I just think the Majora fight's a little more creative, and there's like different phases where he does different things. Ganon just kind of, ooh, I'm big, I walk and swing sword, you know?
Yeah. I mean, which is fair. He's like the big evil, I'm just gonna kill you guy. Alright, well, he's got phase 1 down. He nutted all over Ganon's tail quite a bit there. Didn't bother using the hammer because he didn't get any of the jump slash in, so now he's going to be using his Master Sword, hopefully to deliver the last punch. I think you have to use the Master Sword. Ganon
You
doesn't
have
actually
to,
Ganon
yeah,
doesn't
it
take
won't let
any
you use
damage in his
anything.
second phase with the Master or without the Master Sword. And I think I realized that once, because I remember playing this casually as a kid, and I was like, well, I'll just use the Giant's Knife, because it does more damage. And I think I was fighting him for like maybe 20 minutes before I realized I wasn't actually doing any damage.
Marza, you're wrong. Incarnation is better.
Yeah, Majora's
Sorry.
Wrath music is pretty good, but Majora's Wrath is like really annoying to fight, because like once he takes out the tops, it's just the worst fight in the world. So one thing I wish Lolaway would learn when he's fighting Majora's Wrath is how to stun lock him with the sword.
I have no idea how to do that fight at all. It's so,
Yeah. Stun
it's
locking
just the
Majora's
mess.
Wrath is really easy. You just need to have good timing.
No, those are spinning tops.
I mean, Beyblades are spinning tops, Marzies.
I guess.
Anyway, Lolaway is coming up on the end of his seed. Zelda is keeping Ganon in track.
Not quite sub 4, but for all dungeons, 50 skulls, not a bad time at all.
I think you pretty much called this time, so... Oh,
Yeah.
he's just throwing some nuts on
Nope.
Ganon. So 406.54 for Lolaway. Let's go ahead and get that in the winter time. And then we'll drag him into the call, and hopefully he won't yell at me too bad. 406.54. Alright,
You're getting so
let's go
blasted.
ahead and pull him in. Hey, Lolaway.
Wow.
Congratulations on psychically reading the future before we started the seed.
Yeah, that's fun. This was a fucking disaster.